Headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots passed another big test yesterday. They went into Tampa and beat the Buccaneers in their own building 28-23. Travion Henderson finally had the breakout game fans were waiting for in this one. He broke off touchdown runs of 55 and 69 yards. He ran for 147 yards in all.
The guys up front, they made it easy for me. They opened it up really good. And so my biggest thing is just to be decisive and hit it once I see it. And so, I thank the guys up front, for taking care of the dirty work.
Third-round draft pick Kyle Williams added a 72-yard catch-and-run score. Drake May threw for 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 end-zone interception. Patriots have won 7 in a row. They're 8-2. They played the Jets in Foxborough on Thursday night. Despite a pair of big trades last week, the Jets still beat Cleveland yesterday 27-20. They are 2-7. Also, the Patriots' division lead on Buffalo is a game and a half. The Bills lost in South Florida to Miami 30-13. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue died yesterday morning. He was 84 years old. Celtics ended their weekend in Orlando with a 2-game split. Caraville 111-107 win over the Magic last night. Jaylen Brown 27 points. Jordan Walsh added a big corner 3 to put the game away in the closing minute. Green are 4-5. They visit Philadelphia tomorrow night. Basketball Hall of Fame player and coach Lenny Wilkens died last night at the age of 88. And in baseball news, Cleveland relievers Luis Ortiz and All-Star Emmanuel Clase were both indicted by federal prosecutors yesterday. The charges are fraud, conspiracy, and bribery. This is in connection with a pitch rigging scandal that netted gamblers hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured, not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Maybe. Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are show by name Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. We are live. If you're hearing this on podcast later in the day, you can watch us on YouTube whenever you want. It's very exciting. Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. Very Patriots-heavy show today as the Patriots have gone and done got a signature win, another signature win. Both times they've had opportunities to get signature wins in a unquestionably an easy schedule, but it doesn't matter because when they have played good teams, they have won, setting themselves up for a Thursday night affair with two very hot teams going at it Thursday night.
I would say red hot.
Well,
Jets won yesterday.
well, that's 2 in a row, John. They
Well,
didn't win
thank you,
just
John.
one
That's
yesterday.
kind of exactly what we're
Yes.
talking about.
Well, I mean, they've won 2 in a row, and so Saturday morning I wake up and Brian, our sales, the head of sales, I'm guessing this Thursday night game not the hottest ticket in town, and I got a text message and he's like, "Hey, I know you and your son are Jet fans. Do you want to go to the game on Thursday? I can get you field passes."
Oh.
Which is very, very nice, and I am accepting them, but it is setting a very dangerous precedent for my son.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, after we had the field passes to the Cincinnati game that Burke got us, my son announced that he wanted to go to the Patriot game, which I was like, you can't go, because he's got school that is far away. And I'm like, you can't go. But before I told him he couldn't go, he's like, I want to go to the game because I want to take my friend on the field. And I said, I'd never been on the field before Cincinnati. Like, this doesn't happen. Like, I don't have access to the field. But what will be interesting is that this has got to be through the Patriots. So I wonder if that means my son and I cannot adorn ourselves in Jets and memorabilia.
I think that would probably be unwise. That would be Elaine wearing the Orioles cap to the Yankees game.
Well, Elaine was the hero of that episode.
Do you think you will be seen as heroic if you wear Jets gear down onto the Patriots sideline?
I mean, to Woody Johnson and the gang, I think that they'd be very happy. I think that it might spark the team a little bit.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? They don't need your help. Not lately.
No, certainly not.
Certainly not.
I mean, I have a picture of Quinnen Williams stretching and everything, and he was gone. That was his last game. I mean, I was on the field with Quinnen Williams, his last game in a Jet uniform. And congratulations to Sauce Gardner on a tremendous game yesterday. As he showed Indianapolis that they had made a terrible mistake.
I thought of you when he missed that interception.
No, that's not the play.
No, I know that's not the play. That's what. But I was just saying
the play when Drake London broke his legs.
Yes, that one.
That one was the one that I said, oh, there you go. You got yourself a Sauce Gardner. But I'll go on Thursday. I'm to meet Brian 2 hours before the game, and that's a long time, but it's a great opportunity to get on the field. But
so that'll be fun on Friday for you.
Today's a little bit like Friday. I was up quite late and then early last night. Yeah. So and then this morning. So we're used to it. And Fridays is okay. Today a little more difficult with the Monday, but. I'll be okay Friday.
Because it's just one day. You figure if I get through this, I can go home and I can sleep for 2.5 days if I want to.
If I'm because I don't drink anymore. If I'm not hungover, I can get through the show. It's just it's like why being tired today is not a great thing is because now there's the week and you never catch up. In my Whoop that I have now, you guys got the Whoop.
No.
If you're not, then you're going to die very early.
I got no Whoop.
If you don't have the Whoop, then you're going to die early. The Whoop is a device that tracks your sleep and exercise and a bunch of other things. We're only on the second day of the Whoop, but my 35% rest rate last night, recovery rate.
What does that mean?
Like sleep. Like what is it? It says I got 3.5 hours of sleep.
Oh, that doesn't seem like enough.
No.
I mean, I'm no Whoop master, but that sounds low.
Yeah, 39% recovery. Not great for the Whoop. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 39% recovery. Yeah.
So my mom is coming into town on Thursday.
Yeah.
And that will be interesting because the flight is supposed to arrive at a certain time.
Oh yeah.
And I will pick up my mother from the airport, Fred. Although I did not pick up Marcy from the airport Saturday night.
Oh wow.
Well,
that's horrible. Her being an adult and all, I can't believe.
Well, I would have had her flight arrived when it was supposed to, but it was supposed to come in at like 9:30. She didn't show up until after 11. And once it got delayed like the second time, I said, I'll be asleep. Good luck, Uber. Thank you. And she didn't want me to come pick her up in the first place. She's, no. But I would have. My mom, she's supposed to get in like at 12:30, which is, it's okay. I wish it were 11 o'clock or 11:30. I could just go straight from
Seamless
here.
transition.
Yeah, go straight from here, go pick her up,
Yeah.
and then be done with it. What I fear is, I don't know if you've heard about this government shutdown that has been happening. Things are starting to get affected now, especially at the airports, to the point where she may not show up until, let's say it's delayed a couple hours. And then I'm going to the airport to pick her up, not at 12:30, but at 2:30. What's the traffic like? coming south on the expressway, leaving the airport.
Gangbusters.
Like, this could be Armageddon.
Oh,
This could be one of the worst things that ever happens to me traffic-wise if her flight is delayed, say, 2.5 hours.
If it's any
on
more
Thursday.
than that, then you'll never make it home. I was just going to say, if you leave the airport at 3:30 or 4,
Well,
then
you
you're
guys
done.
never had to do this, but when we were in Dorchester, every moment I stayed past 2 p.m. doing a midday show, you just had to add 5 minutes to the commute home. Because I think it's a lot of like early workers, whether they're contractors, whatever, get downtown 6 a.m. They so they can start work at 7 or whatever, and then they work until 2, and then they're gone. So if you can beat those people leaving downtown at 2 p.m. By jumping out in front of them on Morrissey Boulevard, you're a few miles south, and get in front of them, fine. If you leave at 2:15, you're screwed. 2:30, you might as well just stay there for the night. You're not getting home anytime soon. You might as well just stay. So that's what I'm fearful of. Her being delayed to the point where I don't pick her up until after 2 o'clock, and then it's all done.
Well, the government shutdown could be ending because the Senate last night has voted to end it.
Did they? Oh, they did. They voted last night.
Yeah. The Senate did.
Okay.
But I don't know how that. Yes, there were like 6 or 7 Democrats that voted to end it in the Senate. So maybe that will be over by Thanksgiving. Who knows?
Was the president asked about it last night during the third quarter of the Lions-Commanders game? Did they get into a lot of the political stuff?
Jonathan Vilma was very tough on him. No, I did watch. I did see that live,
Yeah, so
and
did I.
Jonathan Vilma was very. I mean, he was almost too much. He was pushing back too much.
Yeah, I got uncomfortable.
Yeah, they showed Donald Trump when he was playing in high school for some military academy, which he then took as he served for many years in the armed forces. But he was at this military academy, and they showed him. He said he was a tight end, and then they said, "Oh, did you score a lot of touchdowns?" And then he said the quarterback was not very good.
Yes.
But then he said that he did not score. He didn't think he had scored a touchdown, which shows he never lies. So there you go.
Yeah. Right. That was after the best flyover ever. Did you see that?
No, I did not see the flyover.
Well, he met with reporters outside the building before he went in. He said, "Did you see that? Did you see the plane go overhead? Wasn't that the best flyover in the history of flyovers?"
No, I didn't see the flyover.
Yeah, the pilots are the best ever because they fly for Air Force One, so they're the best ever. It's the best flyover ever.
But it's like you're not even the number one crew for the game, and then you got to do the game, which is a blowout, and then you got to interview the president, which, regardless of president, you understand that I hate that I have to put these amendments on everything, but you understand this is just having a president in any way.
Doesn't matter who it is.
It's just, and now you got to, and especially someone like Trump, who you don't know, and it's like a super divisive. I mean, there's other presidents been very divisive, but there's no doubt that it's a hot button every time he talks because you don't know what he's going to say, and so. I mean, it's got to be had to have just been like, oh God, when is this going to be over? Because all you want is it to end without anything happening. That's all you want. And as far as it went, I think it was fine. After they got out and it was fine. The stuff that I'm talking about was just silly, funny stuff. Nothing crazy happened. But I can only imagine that especially the play-by-play guy, you got to be like, oh God, when is this going to end?
Kenny Albert tried to step out of the way. He tried to get Trump to call a play to kind of make the time go a little bit.
Well, I will tell you this, is that Trump was cognizant of, you can tell he did TV because he was cognizant of when it was time to get back to the game.
I noticed that when he was in the middle of a story, and it was third or fourth down when they were lining up, and he didn't look. Don't expect him to actually go in there and do play-by-play, but at the very least, he's like, story, but, this is a big play here. and stopped. I'm like, oh, all right, good for him.
It was like he was better at it than they were because they didn't obviously want to interrupt him. But Trump, I will say this, Trump did know when to get back into like focusing on what was going on in the field.
Yeah.
So I'll give him a lot of credit for that. That, his TV instincts are still there. The years of The Apprentice have served him well. And he was in there. No, I mean, nothing happened. It was just, you mentioned it. I just have to think that if you're in there, you're like, oh, God, just like let this end without me doing anything. Like let this end without anything happening.
It wasn't a short interview. It was like 8 or 9 minutes.
No, it was long.
Long interview. Very difficult to get out of there unscathed without anyone saying anything about how poor it was or what Trump said. I mean,
it's just you're just like you can't like. There's nothing you can do that's gonna make everyone happy. Like anything that happens out of there that makes the news, other than just the fact that he was in there, is gonna piss off half the country. So, if you say something that's deemed disrespectful, that's going to be, and then Lord knows, and then that the White House is going to say crap about it, and then that's going to blow up in your face, and you could get fired for that. Then if he says something, you're not going to challenge it because I wouldn't. If I'm a play-by-play guy and they're like, you're having Trump on, the last thing I'm doing is if he says something like challenging it, hell no. Not in that situation. No way, Jose. I'm not an interviewer. I'm calling a football game, and if he says stuff, I'm not pushing back. I mean, this isn't like having him on your podcast for 2.5 hours. This is where, there should be a little bit of at least, like if you're going to have a president on, like at least have some banter and like know what's going on. Or not banter, have more than banter, know what's going on. If I'm doing play by play, I'm not saying anything. So you don't, if he says something, you're going to get crap from half the country, even though you didn't do anything, because they're going to go, why don't you push back? And you're like, dude, what do you want me to do?
It's not my job. It's not his job.
Right. And then if you like interrupt them or screw them up or do it seem anything that's in any way could be interpreted as disrespectful, not only is half the country going to get pissed, but like they're going to come after your network perhaps. Like there's like all this stuff that could happen. There's a lot of lawsuits flying out of that office to media companies. All I know is that if I was at that game, calling that game, and they said Trump's coming in, I would be like, oh no.
Of course.
Oh no!
Yeah,
like I just get this over with, and he was in there for a really long time. Now, as far as I was concerned, nothing happened.
Well, I don't know how you could take away anything from that anything happened.
No, I agree. Which means they won.
They did a great job. Is what happened.
Well, everyone, it was nothing. Nothing happened. Trump got back to the action. It seemed. 99% football focus.
Yeah, as soon as you leave, it's a big as soon as he leaves, it's a big exhale from everyone in the booth. Like, oh, good. Nothing happened. He's gone. We can get back to work.
Finally, when they move into the new stadium, maybe Trump will be there to christen it.
Oh, yeah.
In his own name, which is apparently what he wants.
Fingers crossed.
Well, listen. I guess it's up to the local legislation. And also, I would assume they would give naming rights to a company because that's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, the ownership is still brand new. They're still trying to crawl out from under that $6 billion price tag.
But I guess like you can name something like Heinz Field, but then have it also be named after someone. I was reading about it because I found the whole naming thing interesting because I thought it was interesting that like ESPN reached out to the White House and the White House was like, oh yeah, they want it named. He wants it named after himself. And they were like, oh yeah. And they're like, yeah. And they'll probably, and you can read the ESPN article. They'll probably do it because like, he can like kind of make them. And I thought that's great. Like, you're just coming right out and saying like, usually when something gets named after you, you go, oh, what an honor. That you decide to name this after me because you love me so much. I thought this was in a way refreshing because it was just like, oh no, he can make them.
Yeah, it can be something like FedEx Field at Trump Stadium.
Yes, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Thank you. That's exactly what it could be. And I just thought it was funny and interesting, and very upfront that I read the only article I read about it was in ESPN, and ESPN was just reporting, and then they said that they had talked to two people at the White House. Like they believe they gave their names, the people at the White House. These were not blind items. And they were like, "Oh yeah."
No. If you work, that's something you attach a name to. That's not an unnamed source deal.
But the thing was, like, yeah, he can make them.
Oh yeah,
like he can make them do it, and I just thought that was great. Like, you're gonna name this thing after me? Why? Oh, I'm gonna make you. Like if you give a donation to like a school, right, and they name the library after you,
isn't that nice?
At least you're paying for it. Like
yeah.
Like here's $100 million for a library, and I still think it's kind of dickish to go like name it after me. Like it's just not something I would.
How honored and proud do you feel if you force them to do it?
Right. That's the thing. Is that like
depends on the person.
Because at least if he builds a building, and he also would license out naming rights to stuff. Like people want stuff named after him. So like there's stuff he doesn't own that's Trump stuff. People want it. And like if you build something and put your name on it, still, I mean, I guess not everyone who builds things puts their names on things, but that's fine. This to me was particularly interesting just because they came right out and said, yes, he'd be honored to make them do that. Oh, okay. I don't know. And then what happens like 20 years from now if Trump's no longer alive? Does it just like, do they still make him do it? Or like, what if he's not the president anymore? Because like, what if you're not president anymore? And then, with the Constitution and everything, you would think that he wouldn't be president
theoretically
again.
In 3 years that'll be the case.
Yeah, you would think that, and he has said that he doesn't think he'd do it. So there's amendments and everything else. But you would at that point now, what if they just like take it away in 3 years and then it's not named after you anymore? and so you got those 3 years of it being not even because it's not done yet. So, like, you get, like, a year of it named after you, and then it immediately goes away. That would seem worse than never having it named after you at all. So, who knows?
I don't think the stadium's going to be ready until 2030, the way they were talking about.
Then it would never be.
No, they haven't even broke ground on it. I mean, this is they're still trying to get the building permits and all that stuff together. No, why
even float it out there?
That's the better question. That is the better question.
I mean, 2030 he'll be 83, 84 years old.
Yeah, in theory, he will no longer be president when they finish building this thing.
Well,
he'll be 84 years old.
They're looking at that.
I know that. Yeah. I'm aware. That's why I said in theory.
There's some very, very smart constitutional lawyers looking at that.
He'd be like 1/4 of the way through his third term. He could run for vice president, they're saying, and then like have like a dummy like administration. All right. Well, there you go. That's the very hard-hitting political analysis that you'll only get from this show. Is that if I would be the play-by-play guy, I'd be very nervous, and I would just want it over with. All right, we will be back in just a moment. Again, the Patriots, huge win yesterday. Huge win. We will talk about it in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sport.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. I got an email from a man named John. He says, "Are we 8-2?" And the answer to that is no. You are not anything, let alone 8-2. He goes, "It's so awesome to open up the 98.5 The Sports Hub. Thanks for opening it up. And before Christmas, talk about ruining the surprise. To talk about the government shutdown, after which was a very long conversation. After Patriots win their 7th game in a row. So much fun. Thank you for the 15 minutes of the show." You're welcome, John. Thank you. You're welcome. That's nice. I appreciate that. But you are not 8-2. The Patriots are 8-2, Hardy. And they went to Tampa Bay, where they were underdogs. And what happened?
I'll tell you what happened is that the Buccaneers went out on the field, and as many teams do in the NFL, and as teams have done against the Patriots earlier this season, they marched down the field.
He stands in, he looks down the middle, he throws it to the right, wide open, Ibuka, 10-5, and he leaps into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
I guess you call that a busted zone coverage, because there's no way in hell you're not watching number 2. It's their number 1 receiver, Ibuka, with the top 2 dogs out, and you leave him wide open backside. It's not part of the read.
Yeah, it was part of that whole drive, just allowing them to find Ibuka or just move the ball at will. I am no longer affected by these. I've said it so many times. Opening drives, teams look great. They've got their scripted plays. They go out there, they march down the field. It didn't bother me.
Well, there keeps being this narrative that it's going to come back and bite them in the ass, but that's just not true. It's not going to, because it hasn't, and it doesn't matter quality of competition. You played a good team in bad conditions on the road, and they scored on their first possession, and it didn't matter. So you're really nitpicking at this point. I'm with you, Hardy. You're nitpicking. It's not ideal, certainly, and you don't want to get down a touchdown, and it's better not to be. But in terms of this is going to ruin everything, well, it's not, because it hasn't happened. And even if it happens once, as long as it's not in the playoffs, it's just one of the little things that go wrong, and it doesn't seem to matter. So I'm not overly concerned about the Patriots giving up first possession touchdowns.
Right. Now, would they answer on their first possession? No. It would take a couple of possessions to answer, but they answered.
Play fake to Henderson, steps up, lobs the throw to the right. It's caught and run by Kyle Williams. Peeling way to the 40. 35-30, 25-20. Speeding down the right sideline to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots!
You gotta be kidding me. I thought they're running out the corner. Kyle Williams, who's been on the side of a milk carton, was officially off of it. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you respond, Kyle Williams. Wow.
Well, I wouldn't go crazy.
All right.
I mean, Kyle Williams is very fast.
I was just going to ask two things. First of all, you get him in space. He's gone. He's faster than everybody else. And it was a good play design, et cetera, et cetera. People have been waiting for Kyle Williams to break out.
Yeah.
That was his only catch.
Yeah, he was targeted twice. Does
that qualify as a breakout game?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Well, for him.
He broke down the sideline. If you literally break out of coverage and then you break away.
Is it enough for Mike Reiss to win his bet with the midday show? I don't think so.
That was only. By the way, he wasn't even the fastest Patriot that day.
No, he got beat by
tenths
of a second in terms of his top speed.
Yeah, he wasn't even the fast. That wasn't even the fastest touchdown of the day.
By the way, did you see how Tampa was defending the Patriots up until that pass? They were dropping 9 guys in the box. They were daring May to throw the football on them, and he looked a little nervous early. He sailed a few throws high.
Yeah,
he looked, and Tony Romo was, it's the weather, it's the weather. No, I think he's passed the football in rain before, growing up on the East Coast in North Carolina. I think he might have played a few high school or college games in bad weather. He was nervous. It was a big game. He's on the road. He's already down. He was a little nervous, but then he hits the big play, and things change like they have for him all year. That's one thing this kid always does. He gets knocked down, he faces a big test, and he responds, and that pass is part of it. Good for him.
All right, so that made it 7-7. Time for Mayfield to go to a certain receiver again because they weren't covering him too well before. Maybe we can get away with it again.
Deep drop by Mayfield. Steps into a throw down the middle. Caught by Ibuka. Runs through the zone to the 25. Angling left to the 20. Dropped inside the number there by Carlton Davis. But another long strike to Emeka Ibuka.
Zone again. And Baker's just licking his chops, knowing it off the play fake. Get my shoulder square, get it turned around, and stick it right to Ibuka, right in the middle. No one there.
I don't know how you leave him alone in the middle of the field.
Why didn't they go man the entire game? I mean, you have a guy that can stick with him for the entire game. Now, Ibuka did get the better of him a couple of times, but not too often. So why not just have Gonzalez shadow that guy all over the place? I didn't understand that. But, I mean, look, it's not like Tampa Bay lit them up after that first drive, so I'm wrong.
All right, so let's get down to the end of the second quarter here. It's 10-7 Tampa Bay at this point. Pats go down the field. John, you've got the play-by-play in front of you there?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So with time winding down, where are we at here on the clock in terms of distance to the goal line?
Okay, Tampa calls their last time out with 1:44 to go. Patriots have the ball first and goal at the 1 after Travian Henderson runs the ball 5 yards to get there. So it's 10-7. You can just punch the ball in for a touchdown, but then you have to kick the ball back to Tampa Bay. What Mike Vrabel decides to do, because Tampa Bay's out of timeouts, is that he has Drake May kneel on the football, basically. He fell down on the 1 yard line, no gain, in order to bleed the clock dry, so that theoretically when the Patriots score the touchdown, Tampa Bay won't have any time left because the Patriots get the ball at the beginning of the third quarter as well.
So there's a minute 44 when Drake May essentially kneels on the ball.
He takes 41 seconds off the clock, all the way down to 1:03. Travion Henderson runs the ball up the middle, stuffed for no gain. So now it's 3rd and goal. Patriots let the clock run all the way down to 19 seconds, and they call their first timeout. So now it's 3rd and goal at the 1 with 19 seconds left. They give the ball to Travion Henderson out of the shotgun, stuffed again. So now it's 4th and goal. Patriots let the clock run all the way down to 2 seconds. They call a second timeout. So now it's 4th and goal at the 1.
Now, what do you do here, Fred? You're down 10-7 going into the locker room.
All right, well, you're on the 1. You got to go for it in today's NFL. And Travion Henderson's been stuffed twice. So you got a mobile quarterback. You got some options. You don't go tush push, certainly. They don't tush push. Even when they put the big defensive lineman in, they can't clear room for Henderson. So you go, you push your chips in the middle of the table, baby.
I would have gone with the field goal because I am a Millie, and
on the road you can't go for the field goal.
I would go for the field goal.
Anywhere you can in today's NFL. 4th and 1, you got to go. 4th and goal from the 1, you got to go.
You're getting the ball to start the second half.
That's why you don't go. That's why you don't kick the field goal. You double up, baby.
Well. Yeah, double up with scores. You don't have to double up with touchdowns.
If you want to lose.
Well, all right. Do I have Stephon Diggs available?
Well, he's a huge target.
Do I just say yes?
You do have Stephon Diggs
available.
Well,
then maybe I'll go for it.
Motion by Diggs. Snap to May. Looks left. Throws it to the end zone for Diggs. Reaches shot. Comes down with the catch.
What a
touchdown. Patriots.
What a catch. Holy crap. What balls!
What
you go gun on the 1-inch line.
Merited, validated by Stephon Diggs from Drake May.
The ball's thrown in the only spot it could be, and the catch is made the only way the catch can be made.
It was a hell of a catch.
Yes. That was as difficult to throw and as difficult to catch as you can make for that play. They did not make it easy on themselves, but they did score the touchdown. They go into the locker room up 14-10.
Indeed. All right, so coming back out of the locker room, starts second half. You want to do it here, Fred? You want to wait?
You can do the run because there's enough in the second half.
Yeah, there's enough going on here. All right, talking about the old Patriots and the old double score, not just field goal and a touchdown. How about a touchdown and then another one?
Handoff with a run up the middle by Henderson. Breaks it to the 40, 35-30. A sprint to the 20. He's gaining ground to the 10, to the 5. He dives to the end zone. Outruns Winfield.
of a shot out of a cannon. God darn, where's that speed been? You spring this backside. What a run by Henderson.
I don't appreciate the language.
Someone needs to talk to him.
7 straight games with a score on the first drive of the second half.
So what's that now?
7 straight games they've scored points on the first drive of the second half. And that is the longest rookie touchdown run since 1969 for the Patriots.
What year?
1969.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you've gotten a few 19-year-olds in the 69. That's legal, baby. John always hasn't been 72. He's, there was a time where he was a teen.
Was that a thing back when John was a teen?
Well, no, yeah. You know what it was? It was the scare of the atomic bomb.
Okay.
And so people, as we've discussed, they would get into their
bunkers.
into their bomb shelters.
Right. I learned that from Greece too. Let's do it for our country.
Well, we've talked about
the red, white, and the blue.
And we've talked about Donald Fagen, and we've talked about a lot of stuff what it has to do with what was going on then. All right, so we will be back at this point. It is 21-10 New England. Things are looking good. And we'll have the rest of the game after the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won their 7th in a row yesterday, 28-23 over the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Drake made 2 touchdown passes. Travion Henderson 2 touchdown runs. Patriots are 8-2. They host the Jets on Thursday night. Celtics scored a 111-107 win in Orlando last night to earn a split of their 2-game weekend series with the Magic. Jaylen Brown, 27 points. The Green visit Philadelphia tomorrow night. And Basketball Hall of Fame player and coach Lenny Wilkens died last night at the age of 88. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Brian Scalabrine and Dave Portnoy. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports.
Everyone, a very pleasant good afternoon, and welcome to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Tampa. Play fake to Henderson, steps up, lobs the throw to the right. It's caught and ruined by Kyle Williams. Peeling way to the 40. 35-30, 25-20, speeding down the right sideline to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots! Short motion by Diggs, snap to May, looks left, throws it to the end zone for Diggs. Reaches up, touchdown!
Holy crap!
Handoff with a run up the middle. Henderson breaks it to the 40, 35-30, a sprint to the 20. He's gaining ground to the 10, to the 5. He dives to the end zone. Now runs Winfield for touchdown, Patriots.
Oh, man, out of a shot out of a cannon.
Henderson has it. Travion gets outside. Goodbye to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, Patriots. There's your ball game.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. And Hardy, when we last left off, Travion Henderson had scored his first touchdown to start the second half.
Indeed, that made it 21-10, so Baker Mayfield goes back onto the field. He's like, hey, when I left the game, we were up 10-7. I know it was in the first half, but...
Yeah, about 45 minutes ago.
About 45 minutes ago. What the hell? Now we're down 21-10. So they wouldn't get it done right away, and as a matter of fact, Pats would go 3 and out on their next possession, but finally Baker Mayfield would have a chance to answer a little bit in the third quarter.
Mayfield takes the snap. He drops back. He shuffles back in the pocket. He moves up. He starts to roll to his right, looks to the end zone, throws on the go. Pass is caught in the back right corner of the end zone. Baker Mayfield keeping the play alive, rolling right, and eventually connecting with Tez Johnson.
That's a killer on 3rd and 10. No plays ever dead with him.
Yes, that made it 21-16 because the 2-point conversion no good after that touchdown.
Tried the old Philly special. Good for the Patriots for breaking that up.
Yes, yeah, they sniffed that one out. Pats would go 7 plays on their next possession.
Why didn't they throw it on the Philly special? Like, why didn't they throw the ball there? It didn't seem like Mayfield was covered.
I don't know. Maybe because Ibuka was under pressure.
Yeah, but it's a 2-point conversion. You got to throw it up.
Of course.
Yeah, it's not.
But he was under pressure, brought the ball down, panicked.
What's going to go horribly wrong?
Well, yeah, if they intercepted and take it 100 yards, it's 2 points.
Yeah.
But
odds are they're not going to, and B, it's 2 points.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would, at that point, I know you don't want to give up 2 points in that situation because then it puts you
down 8.
Down 8.
Still a 1-score game.
But it looked to me, and I haven't looked at it again. It looked to me like that you could have thrown it to Mayfield. He looked like he was kind of standing in the end zone. I could be wrong, but I was surprised that he didn't throw the football. But nonetheless, because I had seen it run to perfection, not the Philly special, nonetheless, but the half-pack pass in person in Cincinnati 3 weeks ago. So I'm used to it working.
Nice.
Bit of a punt fest after that, where both teams unable to move the ball much. A couple of 3 and outs thrown in there. Finally, the Pats...
I tried to get that for charity. A punt fest. Not a lot of turnout.
No.
No. It was just a festival of amateur punters.
Well, the Patriots would put together a drive, so to speak. It really was a huge reception from Mac Hollins.
Drake is back. He launches along ball, firing down the right side. He's got an open man. Hollins makes the catch in stride at the 15. Tackled inside the 10. A perfect throw by Drake May under the red gloves of Mac Hollins. 1st and goal to go at the 8.
Absolutely croaked again on the release this May, but he hangs in there. It throws a freaking dime to Matt Collins on the go route down the right boundary. Hey, Booty's out. No big deal. Next man up. It's Matt Collins here, the deep guy.
Yeah.
MVP. Listen to the MVP chants.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they were deafening. But I will tell you that the biggest testament to the greatness of Drake May this season is that Mac Hollins is playing this way. Because it's not next man up. Booty's fast and gifted. Hollins is huge but slow. Yeah. And just the idea that Hollins is this involved in the offense is really a testament to Drake May.
He's got pretty good. He's got pretty good hands. He's got good hands.
I didn't say he didn't have good hands. I said that he's just huge and slow. That he's not a game-breaking wide receiver.
Well, I'm giving him a little compliment to balance out your horrifically hurtful statements.
Yeah, at no point did I say he couldn't catch the football. I just said that so you have to, for me to compliment Drake May, you have to lessen the compliment to Drake May. I understand.
Yeah.
He's glue for hands, and May just has to throw it up to him.
Like Buddy
He's a modern-day Calvin Johnson.
He's a modern-day Buddy Farnham. Very soft hands.
That's a little different.
Yeah, he is a little different.
But Mac Hollins, I mean, any game Mac Hollins has over 100 yards receiving is a game that you're like, oh, wow, this is a pretty good quarterback. Because, I mean, again, the receiving talent on the field yesterday for the Patriots was not good. And, other than Diggs, and Diggs is, who knew Diggs was going to be this good? So it is really a compliment to May. And May does get just destroyed.
Yeah, did you see the plays he had? He had to throw to Hollins out of a sack earlier in that game, and then there was one where he was about to get drilled. He found Pop Douglas for a first down, and those are the plays you look at and go, "Oh my God, how did he make that play?" But again, he winds up on his back. He's getting beat up pretty good, but he keeps getting up and producing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to faze him, and that's one of the great things of a quarterback. I mean, you saw it with Herbert does the same thing. You saw it with Herbert. He just to sit there and know you're going to take punishment and still be able to effectively throw the ball is half the battle.
So you're down there on the goal line now. You got 5.5 minutes left. It's 3rd and 2. You're third and goal. Yeah, you're right there. You're up 5. Just don't do anything crazy here. You might get away with just a field goal, but that would put you up 8 with about 5 minutes left in the game. But instead,
Drake takes the snap. He's looking left. He's going to now drift to his right. Pulls up. He rolls further right. He throws the ball toward the corner of the end zone, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone right side. Touchback to Tampa Bay.
Greedy.
Tyke Smith.
You killed yourself on these 3 calls down there. God dang it. Wow. As good as he's been on his drive, worst throw of the game comes right there. He's been so good.
Yeah, he threw it into double coverage.
They were saying MVP like 3 plays beforehand.
Yeah, it was a bad throw. He never should have thrown the ball. He should have eaten the ball and taken the 3 points.
Did you hear Zoe?
Oh, yeah.
Like, see that one coming like 3 seconds before it happened?
Formation, toss left. Henderson has it. Travion gets outside.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
No, what he did, because May was going to get hit. He saw the pressure.
And that's why he said, oh, no?
Yeah.
Drake takes the snap. He's looking left. He's going to now drift to his right. Pulls up. He rolls further right.
Yeah, he didn't know he was going to throw the ball at that point.
Yeah, it was a little too early to call that interception when he started moving.
I mean, he's Kreskin if he knew before he threw the ball that there was going to be some kind of interception.
That he wasn't going to throw it out the back of the end zone?
Yeah, I don't think he knew that. Scott knows a lot. I'm not positive he knew that.
All right.
So then he throws that interception, and you go, all right, here you go. Baker Mayfield, he's the comeback kid. This team does nothing but come back. This is why he's an MVP candidate. This is why he was the big favorite to win the MVP. Baker Mayfield's got the ball in his hands. It seems at this point, oh no, this was the mistake that's going to kill us. Now Tampa's got it. Now Tampa Bay is going to do some damage.
He drove down the
Mayfield. A blitz is coming. Mayfield's being pressured. Mayfield's being sacked. Chase on was the first one there. The ball shoveled free. He got it away. As he was being wrapped up, the Patriots make the tackle nonetheless on Rashad White at the 30-yard line.
That takes some calling, man.
Aggressive play calling for the Patriots on offense and defense.
Take some balls right there. 4th and 3.
Yeah, that's a 4th and 3 play that goes as a negative completion, but it was a sack basically. Yeah. And that's the most impressive thing about this game to me from a Patriots perspective was what they did defensively against Tampa Bay. I mean, May makes a terrible mistake. You bend a little bit, they get it down to your 27 and you're able to stop them. Not many teams have been able to do that this season.
It's also the aggressive play calling, as Bob was saying, on both sides of the ball. To have the confidence in this team to execute at a really tough time. The fourth down play, throwing to the back corner of the end zone on fourth down at the end of the half, and then to dial up pressure like that with the game on the line and Tampa with the ball on your 30. I mean, I don't think they would have made those aggressive play calls earlier this season. This is kind of evolving right in front of us. The players are executing at important times, and the coaches have the confidence to let them do that. A good team can do these kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. And the Patriots get the ball back, so they're still up 21-16.
High formation, toss left. Henderson has it. Travion gets outside. Goodbye to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, Patriots. There's your ball game.
8-2, baby. Start the buses. We're coming back home on a short week. We need some sleep tonight. But we ain't getting any. Because sleep's for losers. We said that before. We are back, man. 8-2. Man, 11 straight weeks grinding.
That's why Scott doesn't sleep, because he's a winner.
Is that why?
That's why I didn't sleep last night, because I'm a winner.
Sleep is for losers. He's not a loser. He's the opposite.
And everyone got a big kick out of Travion Henderson looking to the sidelines to see that if he should score, a modest heads-up kid. And, that's going to happen. You got to, if you can get past that first wave, you're going to score on that, especially if you're as fast as Travion Henderson. That's just, you're selling out to stop him. And then you're ballsy to go around the end because, then bad things can happen, but once you get past that point of attack, you're gone.
Now, this is the debate. Should he have scored?
Oh, yeah, I don't have any problem with him scoring. No, no, you score there.
Neither do I. You know who does? The wall man.
If he had gone down, it would have been 1:31 left. Tampa would have only had 2 timeouts. You could have killed the remainder of the clock, and you would have won the game.
Well, you won the game. And they
won the game anyway.
But it became.
You saw Drake May waving frantically for Henderson to go down while he was running.
He looked at the sidelines, and they pointed to the end zone and told him to go in.
Sure.
And Tampa Bay scored a touchdown, and a lot of good it did them. And even if they would have recovered the onside kick, I mean, I wouldn't be overly concerned. I mean, they still have to score a touchdown. I mean, if you want to debate if he should have scored or not after they won, then very good.
Yeah, had they recovered the onside kick, they would have had over 30 seconds left. They could have run several plays and had a chance to win the game, presumably either 29 or 30-28.
The much more divisive thing was having May eat clock down at the goal line at the end of the first half.
That is the big.
That could have turned out to be terrible. The scoring the touchdown, I mean.
No, it's just a discussion point. No, the thing at the end of the first half was much more controversial.
No, that's way more controversial. Yes. It's just conceding, especially when you get stuffed 2 plays in a row. I mean, and then you need Diggs to make like a heroic play to score that touchdown. That's one where you go, oh boy. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with controversy.
More Toucher and Hardy.
72-yard score was his first as a pro.
It was sensational. I mean, I don't think words could really put a explanation on that feeling. I mean, we got the look that we want. Shout out to Drake for making an alert, and at that play, he gets to pick one or two, and he picked me, and then once the ball was in my hands, I seen green grass, and then it was bon voyage after that.
Drake May completed only 16 of 31 passes, but he managed 270 yards and 2 scores. He also added an end zone interception. Patriots have won 7 straight. They're 8-2. They're back home to play the Jets Thursday night. The Jets are 2-7 after beating Cleveland yesterday 27-20. Buffalo lost to Miami 30-13. They're now 6-3, a game and a half behind the Patriots, first place in the AFC East. In other NFL news, former Commissioner Paul Tagliabue died yesterday at the age of 84. Celtics won in Orlando last night, 111-107, to gain a split of that 2-game weekend series. Jaylen Brown, 27 points. The Green visit Philadelphia tomorrow night. Basketball Hall of Fame player and coach Lenny Wilkins died last night at the age of 88. And in baseball news, Cleveland relievers Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase, both indicted by federal prosecutors yesterday on charges of fraud, conspiracy, and bribery. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Enjoy the game with the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cask matured Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. Please drink responsibly. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Irish shot.
The Bruins.
Rebound score!
Play here. The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
They are still the 3rd seed in the AFC as it stands right now, is what I'm seeing in front of me. Indianapolis, Denver, New England Steelers is how it lines up. Indianapolis wins the tiebreak over New England and Denver based on best win percentage in conference games. Denver wins the tiebreak over New England based on best win percentage in conference games. So that all could be even out, I would suppose, as the season goes on.
If the playoffs started this weekend, Buffalo would come to New England for round 1.
Buffalo, who we will get into later in the show, was no-showed against Miami yesterday. So Buffalo in a bit of a tailspin. Buffalo now very unlikely to win the division, it would seem, given this part of the season. So it looks like New England certainly has a firm grasp on the AFC East, which seemed an absolutely insane prediction to have made. But some people did. Some people did predict it. But what could not have been predicted was the chaos that ensued during the post-game show here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Now, Jim Murray and Chris Gasper do the pre-game show 3 hours before every Patriot game. We have all the Patriot games here on the radio station. And then after the game, Joe Murray, it used to be Joe Murray and
It was
Leroy.
Yeah.
Used to do it, but then Leroy decided he didn't want to do it anymore, so Mark Dondero was put in. And when you are, new to a job, you gotta stake your claim. You got to stake your claim.
Got to make your mark.
You got to make your mark. And so the guys had on Greg Bedard after the show, after the game was over, and they're talking to Greg Bedard, and here is what happens.
Greg, is Drake May right now the MVP favorite in your estimation?
I would say no. He's certainly a contender. Today he had it was a nice showcase game, and he certainly had a handful of special plays. No question about that. He did complete 51.6% of his passes and threw an interception that almost cost his team the game. But it's not so much about Drake, because he's going to be there. I think I don't know if you saw, Burt Breer pulled, I think it was 42 personnel people around the league. Drake May got 1 vote. It was pretty spread out. I mean, Matthew Stafford got 3rd.
Okay, so what you heard there was during the answer. Now, Danny Thomas, back in the 50s, or 50s, 60s, started this. It's debatable where it did start, but Danny Thomas, you guys are all familiar with the work of Danny Thomas, right? You're big Danny Thomas. What Danny Thomas would do is now comedically, but it can be used just to be incredulous as well.
Mm-hmm.
What Mark Dondero did is he took a sip of a beverage, and then when he had heard, which he could have heard on this very radio station, I'm a little ashamed that he had not heard it during our show on Friday when Bert Breer told us that he had pulled people around the league. He took a sip of said beverage, and
I think it was 42 personnel people around the league. Drake May got one vote. It was pretty spread out. I mean,
he spits it out in a spit take. He is so just knocked over by the information that only one person would vote for Drake May as MVP going into this weekend.
Spit on that thing. You get me?
That he launched in a just a sea of it was launches across the studio. To the water. He's so freaked out by it. Now you've seen this before.
It's it's a mist of disbelief.
Now look, I thought it was over when the Carol Burnett show went off the air. You know, you take a sip and then you go bah, and you belly. It didn't seem contrived at all when he did it. He was, Dondero was, casually sipping a beverage as we all do. You got to keep your whistle wet. I mean, you got to lubricate the throat. And so he's sitting there and he's casually just, raising a glass to his lips. He thinks he's going to, what he probably thinks is Bert Breer pulled a bunch of people and all of them said Drake May was going to be MVP. But when that information was turned on its head and only one person said it, he goes,
Drake May got one vote. It was pretty spread out. I mean, Matthew Stafford got third.
He spit take. He did a spit take.
Oh, you got to give him that huck to it.
And so, Hardy, now you worked with Zolak.
Yes.
Now, Zolak is known. Now,
before we get to that, though, Mark Dondero posted a video of this on his own Twitter.
Oh. Now, did anyone think it was Dorfon Golf? Did anyone think it was a Tim Conway, the very funny Tim Conway?
No, he did get accused of being a modern day Ricky Ricardo because Desi Arnaz stole that bit from
Danny
Thomas and performed it a year or two later on I Love Lucy.
Right. So anytime you're stealing from the 50s, it shows that you are on the whatever is old is new again. Obviously, so everyone knows the spit take is the height of comedy.
So Mark Dondero getting out in front of this.
You got to get in front of it because listen, it's like you do a roast joke about 9/11 or something.
Right.
You got to get in front of it. Like any dangerous comedian, has got to hedge their bets a little bit. So what he's doing right now is he's saying like, look, I'm like Dice back in the late 80s. And like I want you to see this because I'm a bad boy, but let me explain, right? What's he say?
I believe he was inspired to do this because Jim Murray pulled a video of this, and this was posted at 9:18 p.m. And Jim Murray posts the video and says, "The F?" ? Like, why is he spitting like that?
Because he's hilarious.
Okay, so
because it's super funny. Did he not hear the context of it? He was told that Drake May only had one vote when polled.
Right.
When people were polled about the MVP, what is he supposed to do? Not take a sip of water and spray it?
So at 9:18 p.m. last night, Jim Murray asked the F is going on.
Does he say F or does he spell out the word?
He spelled out the word.
Now we're going. It's Lenny Bruce and Danny Thomas in a room.
Which I believe, in terms of the online social media psychology, inspired Mark Dondero at 10:48 p.m. last night.
Oh, no one's sleeping. Everyone's on this.
To post the video and say, here's the exchange on Drake May's MVP candidacy that led to my spitting the water toward the trash bucket in the studio. I apologize if my colleagues who share that space were disgusted and offended.
No, because anything goes when it's hysterical. Like when the joke's good enough, you can get away with anything. So who would care about, why is Jim Murray jealous at the comedic stylings and the viral nature of it? He does understand that he was so...
Spit on that thing. You get me?
Yeah. Dios míos.
And then, as if that would not be enough, some 22 minutes later, Mark Dondero emailed me, you, Fred, Wallach, Felger, Joe Murray, Big Jim, Matt McCarthy, Tony Maserati, Alex Barth, Mark Bertrand, Scott Zolak, Tim McCone, Kendra Middleton, and CC, our program director and assistant program director.
Oh, boy. Someone's going to get hepatitis. You think?
He said, hey, everyone.
Yeah, probably.
I apologize for spitting my water out in the studio during the postgame show. I angled it at the trash bucket, but that's no excuse.
No, it's really not.
And I should have never reacted that way in the first place.
But you can't help it. When you do a spit take, it's not it's an uncontrollable reaction, like a hiccup.
Oh, you got to give him that huck to it.
Won't happen again, Mark Dondero.
Well, once you do the funniest thing ever,
yeah, you can't double down.
It's going to get progressively less funny.
Yeah.
You can only be so incredulous so many times.
But you asked me if I had worked with Scott Zolak. I did.
But I do want you to say
a number of years.
Okay, so I didn't know any of this happened because
unfortunately
I'm not on Twitter and I miss all this great stuff.
Yeah.
So, my bad.
Yeah.
I do miss it because I could have seen the exchange. I could have been the Jim Murray in this thing, and I could have been like, what the hell, Dondero? And congratulations to whoever pulled the video, because I assume this will be studied comedically for years. But when you told me about it and then we had the discussion pre-show in the meeting, the concern of it being sanitary was not the issue.
No.
The issue was what?
Well, the issue as to why I am offended, and I believe you are offended,
sure,
is the horrific, hacky nature of the spit take.
It's really inexcusable. As I was being sarcastic this whole time, the spit take is really the slipping on the banana peel. It's up there with, a rubber chicken. Now, in terms of comedy.
You asked me, how is this worse than any of the number of things that Scott Zolak did over the years in terms of its offensiveness? When Scott Zolak leaves actual excrement, feces, on a chair because he's unable to control his bowels and things just pop out, that is high comedy. That is Tim Robinson level, high science at work there.
Yeah.
Now, is it more or less sanitary? Of course it's less sanitary. Of course it's more offensive on a physical and a health standards issue. But in terms of actual comedy, A, unintended, and B, look, when you're spitting crab leg meat into a microphone that then hardens and solidifies and makes that microphone smell like stale, rotten seafood for weeks afterward, that's approaching comedy level genius. That takes some thought and some foresight.
You destroy your body enough where you're leaving poo on its seat.
Now that's funny.
That's worth. We're talking about it today, and no one's disrespecting Scott. We're all very excited about what Scott did. It's lore. I've been in radio for a very long time. I have very few stories of someone pooing a seat. That's the only one. That will live with me forever. All right. We have some calls. Jason, go ahead.
How that went down, that wasn't organic. I guarantee that Dondero had planned that. All the information was already put across the airway.
You have to write material like that. There's no doubt, Jason. I mean, Mark probably had this planned for weeks.
You think Danny Thomas didn't give everyone a heads up that he was going to be doing a spit take? No, we knew this was going to happen. Yeah, that's part of it.
The great comedians will plan, but it comes off now. Jason, you've obviously seen through it, but what the great comedians will plan this. Dare was 8 steps ahead of this thing. This was chess. Like, he knew exactly how he was going to set it up. He was going to bring up the MVP conversation. Here comes Bedard. He kind of knows where Bedard's going. He knows Bedard's going to bring up Briere. As soon as Briere is brought up, he picks up the drink, raises it to its lips, and as only the greats can do, the timing of the spit take, kaboom! It's fantastic. Chuck, go ahead.
Hey, Fred. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
I got a new nickname for Dondero now.
What's that?
Mark Tua.
Okay, there you go. Mark Tua.
That hawk to it.
Be Real says Dondero, little did you know, now this is controversial because it might be considered sexist, but a hot lady walked by during the post-game show and he bit his fist because he was that I was concerned, if I can just raise some complaints. Dondero, when I first met him, had on X-ray glasses. And I was under the assumption that he could see through my clothes. And now, like, whenever I see vomit, I need to know if it's been a Dondero prank or not. I mean, there's like never advice. Dondero's around, never smell the flour on his lapel because you will get a face full of water.
Walking my side of the street.
You know, I sit in the same chair that Dondero does, and I see here some what appear to be notes or some other ideas that he was going to go with. One of them just says, what? Question mark.
Yeah.
Another one, it's like a doodle of a guy who appears to be doing the
right.
And then spit take, underline.
Yeah, what was lost because in the spit take was later in the show his rubber chicken bit that he did that a lot of people seem to have missed. But nonetheless, I forgive Mark Dondero for the hygiene because what we might catch from him spitting, the world has gained in comedy. So there you go.
Perfect.
Congratulations to Mark and Dondero. You, my friend, have now cemented yourself as a comedic legend. A spit take on the radio as well, which is...
All the greats try it out there first.
Now it's alchemy. Now this is something that goes beyond just chemistry and timing. Now we're getting into like the dark arts.
Look, man, you sprung this on me this morning. We'll leave it with Dan. Dan, go ahead.
Freddie, love you. Watch out. There's a whoopee cushion on one of the chairs in there that he left. So just keep an eye out.
Well, listen, no one is safe. There was a big package from Whammo here that a lot of people are very excited about. He's doing a bang-up job on that post game. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with Mike Reiss, who's part of the pregame show. We'll talk to Mike Reiss in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
Hey, you could...
car is not driving. So it was a quick conversation I had to have. Mike Reiss is going to join us in 1 second. But first, real quick, Jason, based on the spit take of Dondero, go ahead, sir.
Next time you guys see Dondero, he's going to have one of those Irish newsboy caps on. He now goes by Mark Gallagher Dondero.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of watermelon pieces all over the studio, and I do have a feeling that he does have to be reined in a little bit because the shtick has gone a little out of control.
Are his co-hosts going to have to start wearing like clear smocks, much like the front row of a Gallagher show?
They got those smocks on, but they also are wearing a smile.
Yeah.
So listen, he's wearing a top hat and he's doing a lot of fun stuff. All right, Mike Reiss is the ESPN NFL Nation reporter. Is that really your title? Is that how you want me to introduce you, Mike?
It's fine. I'm not a big title person. How you guys doing? Fred, Hardy, John, this is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, John and I especially before the season, we're talking about any talk of them winning the division, the Patriots winning the division was absolutely ridiculous.
We said 6 wins, maybe 7 at the beginning of the season.
And to enjoy the process,
Yeah.
and if the team's playing better at the end of the year than before the start of the year, then these are the things. Now, we both, in fairness, saw great things from Drake May coming. Not this quickly, not this fast. But this defense, Mike, is really surprising me. Usually defenses that are, you make additions in free agency and, there wasn't a tremendous amount of talent on paper going into the season. I thought the most impressive thing about the win yesterday was the way the defense played, especially after the interception that May threw in the end zone, because that's what Tampa's been doing all year. Tampa's been in these situations, and they've come back and won games, and the Patriots were able to stop them.
Well, I agree with you. I had a couple things on my mind. Number one, that stadium, that might have been 30% Patriots fans. So I just want to say that from being there, the energy that the fans are bringing and feel about what's going on here is real. Feels like the old times to me.
That was predicted, by the way. Mad Dog has a guy every week from Tampa Bay who's not very good, but he's on from Tampa Bay, and he said, I'll talk to you next week after I see the Patriots game in Tampa. Like, basically, the Patriots home game in Tampa.
Yep.
Yeah, that was going to be Patriot fans, and that crowd was very partisan towards the Patriots. Yes.
Yeah, so that's part of what's going on. And then defensively, what you were talking about, Fred, what impressed me about this last game is a guy like Jack Gibbons at linebacker steps in for Christian Ellis, who's out, the starter with an injury, plays season high 41 snaps, leads the team with 10 tackles, and you wouldn't know that there was a change in the lineup. And I think that's when you're talking about a good team and a good unit, when you can just turn to the next guy and you don't miss a beat.
It's not just that, Mike. We were discussing this earlier. It's the confidence in the coaches to dial up pressure at a key time of game. When Mayfield got sacked on that 4th down at the end of the game, it's not just that different guys are doing it. It's that they're executing at huge times of the game every week.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, John. The best teams. And Bill Belichick, I always remember what he would say. His best teams played their best at the most critical moments. And this team has that. To build off your point, you go out and pay big for Milton Williams in the offseason, almost to the point where you're like, could he even reach the expectation of the contract? And he is, right? Because he's sort of the leader of that pressure. And so just very impressive. And the one thing I was wrong about myself on the defense early in the year was I was curious if they would be able to stop the run with their personnel. And that defensive front and the way the corners play, just the whole team defense, been incredibly impressed with the way they play against the run.
Mike, some have said that Drake May's greatest gift to this team so far is him elevating players like Mac Hollins. Others have said that Mac is a star in the making, not just for the team, but in the National Football League. Mike, my question to you is, why can't it be both?
It can be, Hardy.
Thank you.
It can be. And we can keep going down the line and say Mac Hollins in a Josh McDaniels offense elevates, him, and Josh McDaniels elevates Drake, and we can just keep doing that, Hardy, and that's when you know you got it rolling. And I would say personnel-wise, like they're picking up players from other teams, and these players are performing. I'm going to just throw out a name. Corey Durden, a defensive tackle, plays 30 snaps yesterday, and he was let go by the Giants at the end of preseason, signed to the Patriots practice squad, develops quickly here in New England, and is making a difference. That's great synergy between the personnel staff, the coaching staff. So they got a lot of good vibes going right now.
Okay. What did you make of the way May played yesterday? How big was that interception? How is he trending as far as you're concerned?
So my synopsis, long story short, Fred, would be started slow, fought through the initial adversity, found his footing enough, and then at the end almost made the critical mistake, and sort of got bailed out a little bit by the defense and the run game. And there's going to be days like that. And how is he trending? Looked up at ESPN odds last night, and he's now the MVP favorite. So wasn't his best game, but certainly made some of those throws, Fred. Are you kidding me? The touchdown to Diggs where he put that ball, the touchdown to Kyle Williams where he put that ball, the deep ball to Mac Hollins late. He's making a handful of throws every game where you're like, who else does this? So mixed bag, I guess you'd say, but certainly good enough to win.
Well, yeah, I think it was a study in contrast, but the good outweighed the bad, and that interception was bad. That was horrific. But, the Diggs throw and a couple of the other plays that he made. I just want to get back to Josh McDaniels for a second. And full disclosure, I was the one who had the audacity to ask when they hired him. I said, do we know that he's the savior when it comes to being an offensive coordinator? You could say the same thing about his success rate outside of New England without Tom Brady and even without Bill Belichick as a head coach. How is he going to do? I think yesterday further proved that he's absolutely the guy for the job. And it was mentioned during the game yesterday, the adjustments that he made after the slow start, not just from Drake May, but from the offense, that Josh McDaniels seems to be able to identify things that are going on defensively yesterday with the Buccaneers and exploit them. Are you seeing these things in real time, Mike?
So yeah, Hardy, definitely. I would say the Browns game was the one that stood out to me at halftime when they went 9-7 lead at half, and then it just took off in the third quarter. That was the one, if we talk about adjustments and McDaniels, that maybe was the signature one this season to me. My whole question on that, I never doubted Josh. I think he's one of the best play callers and quarterback developers. That part I never doubted. Mine was more Mike Vrabel's coming in and he's got his staff, his guys, and Josh had never coached under Mike. And so I just wanted to see how that would come together. And I think as the season has gone on, it's been a nice sort of melding between the two of them. And I watched last night in the tunnel as everyone's coming back off the field to the locker room. Mike and Josh shared a big embrace and a celebratory hug. As the way that game unfolded, the excitement seems like they're really operating off the same script.
Maybe keep it a little more manly is what you're saying, not so much with the embracing. Mike, there were two things that people questioned, and they both ended up working out. One was the way they handled the end of the first half with May, basically taking a knee on first down to run clock. Obviously, it ended up working out, but it got dicey there when they stuffed Henderson a couple times. What did you think in real time about the way that they handled that?
They were rolling the dice, Fred. I mean, that was my thought. That was a fascinating end of the half sequence there. And I asked Drake after the game, was he trying to get in? And he insisted that he was trying to get in. I know. But and there's a part of me that I'm like watching the defensive tackle. I think it was Vita Vea over the center. I mean, he did get right in there, and I'm wondering if Drake was just trying to protect the ball but I have to say, my instinct was they were just trying to keep the ball away from the Buccaneers and say, no matter what, we want to finish the half with the ball. So they rolled the dice. That's my thought, and it worked out for them. But, man, the margin for error on that was really, really thin.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't score on that, it would have been interesting to see how that game pans out. But another thing that was fun, at least, John made a whole big thing out of it, which is because he's an ass. But one thing that was fun was Henderson at the end of the game on the touchdown, looking towards the sideline and being like pointed into the end zone. Should he have scored on? Just again, this is your opinion. Obviously, the team told him to score. Do you think if you're the coach, are you telling him to score on that?
So I think this is one of those that you could go either way. And I was doing the math before coming on. So they are winning at the time 21-16, 5 points, right? Mm-hmm. So, John, work with me on this to make sure I don't mess this up.
You wear glasses.
If he goes down, Tampa has 2 timeouts.
Yep.
So you're gonna run the ball twice from, call it what, the 8-yard line, let's just say.
Yep.
Make them burn the timeouts, and then you got, so let's say there's going to be, call it 1:20 on the clock. And it's going to be 3rd down. Mm-hmm. And you're probably going to run it again.
Yep.
Right? And so that's going to bring the clock down to, call it, would we say 30 seconds?
Thereabouts. Yeah.
30 seconds. You're up by 5, and you got to kick a field goal. So you could do that. You go up by 8, assuming there's no bad snap. Field was wet ball at times. And everything's fine, but you're probably making the field goal and you're going up by 8, right? Like you could bank that. Then you got to kick off and defend. They have no timeouts. They got to get a touchdown. I think you could go either way. That's sort of my thought on that. I didn't think it was but you feel passionate about it, John?
Not passionate. I was just curious. I would have gotten him to go down. You kill the clock, and then when you kick off, they have to make sure they return the kick. That burns another 5, 6, 7 seconds, whatever it was, and they probably are not. They may get 1 playoff, maybe 2, and then you win the game. But either way, you're right, because they were up, and then Diggs had to recover the onside kick with about 20 or 30 seconds left, and you kneeled the clock out anyway. So it would have been 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Well, and John, 2 things. I love the discussion because, one, the kickoff returns now, like those are a little, those can pop, right? Like, and so they could have returned it for a touchdown. Next thing you know, you're defending a 2-point conversion, right? That's 1 point. And then the Diggs onside kick recovery, I'm wondering if, like, part of me, I get on the plane last night, I'm like, that was sort of a bigger play. Like, I don't want to just overlook that.
Yeah.
He took a shot.
Yep.
And I just want to say, we talked to him in the locker room after the game. I think he's fine. I don't think there's any injury residual, or at least there wasn't right after the game. And just hats off to Diggs. Man, he came through on that, on a play that sometimes it's easy to overlook.
All right. Well, Mike Reiss, listen, he's the NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots for ESPN. Mike, thank you so much. Get some sleep. Enjoy yourself.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, there you go. Mike. We will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are now 8-2 overall and undefeated on the road. They beat Tampa Bay 28-23 yesterday. 2 touchdown runs for Travion Henderson, a 72-yard catch and run for a score by 3rd-round draft pick Kyle Williams, Patriots have won 7 straight. They play the Jets in Foxborough on Thursday night. Jets beat Cleveland yesterday 27-20. They're 2-7. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue died yesterday. He was 84 years old. Celtics ended their weekend in Orlando with a 2-game split. They beat the Magic last night 111-107. Jaylen Brown 27 points. Celtics visit Philadelphia tomorrow night. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Sparks. Sharpen your hockey skates at home with the Sparks Sharpener. Be ready for hockey season. Head to @sparkshockey.com and use promo code SportsHub at checkout for $50 off. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
You're listening.
MF Doom.
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Fantastic.
Feeling
It's cracking, boy.
Same old kid.
Man, rap snitches, man. Just bugged out, man. Man.
You telling me?
In that mouth.
All right.
Anything.
We are Toucher and Hardy and the Patriots. A big win in Tampa. Bob, go ahead.
Yeah, the conclusion you guys came to with Mike is not quite correct. Henderson crossed the goal line with 1:31 left. They had called the timeout at 1:43. That was their first. He crosses the goal line at 1:31. Say he stops at the 1 yard line, that's, we'll say, 1:32. They have to call their second timeout then to stop the clock. The clock's going to keep running unless they call a timeout. They call their second timeout then. The Patriots have the ball first and goal at the whatever with 1:32 or 1:32 left. 3 kneel downs, the game's over.
Yep. Good call. Good point.
All right,
I
Bob.
like this guy.
There you go. Bob has it. They should have not scored. It would have been 3 kneel downs, and then that would have been the game.
Mm-hmm.
John can't just take the win. He's got to insult the coaching staff after one of the biggest wins in the last 5-6 years.
They would have run out the entirety of the clock?
They would have had one timeout. There's about 1:30 to go, 40 seconds on the play clock. So, yeah, they could have.
I'm glad he scored the touchdown. Good for him.
So Reiss had it wrong, is what he's saying. Reiss did the math wrong.
No, but the caller made a good point. Both Mike and I had forgotten that Todd Bowles would have had to call a timeout there to stop the clock after Travion Henderson gave himself up. So he would have had one timeout left instead of 2 with the Patriots with the football on their 2 yard.
All right, Alf loves to call in after wins. Alf, hello.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Hi, Alf.
Man, I would love to call after the Patriots lose, but guess what? We just don't lose.
That's right. Again, you as a collective do not lose. That's correct.
No, man. And how about that, man? Baker Mayfield tried to pull a cat out the hat, but it ain't come out.
Yeah, it was dead.
And we're going to knock your stupid Jets down to the ground. We're going to burn them.
Alf, you think they're going to beat the Jets?
We're going to destroy the Jets.
Oh, I find that highly unlikely, Alf.
Man, let's put a wager on it. I'm going to call you on Friday.
All right.
All right. Now, what are you willing to put up, Alf? Now,
you call me on. Let's make the wager on Friday. Yeah, you call on Friday, and we'll make the wager.
Let's make it creative, though, not just money.
Wait, hang on a second. On Friday, when we make this bet, what do you want the bet to be on Friday?
That's a good question. I don't know. How about $100?
How about this? On Friday, I guarantee you I can predict the exact score of the game.
Whoa, you got a crystal ball or something?
Will you give me odds? If on Friday morning, I can tell you the exact score. In fact, I'll tell you within 3 how many passing yards Drake May has in that game on Friday.
Oh, no. That's off. No, you got to tell me before the game.
Oh, you caught me, Alf.
He's hip.
You caught me, Alf.
You tried to pull a slip one on me. You overdone me.
Alf, you almost...
I was dealing with a customer. You had me... I got distracted.
That's right, Alf. You ignore those customers when you're on the phone. All right, thank you,
right.
Alf. That's right. Thank you, Alf.
He's on
Hi, Alf.
He's on to your game, stupid.
I thought I was going to get a lot of money out of Alf. I was going to get free Slurpees for life, like Dan Roach on his birthday. John, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say that I'm glad Travion Henderson went in for the touchdown. In this league, you must score. Forget all the conservative stuff. Just score. Win the damn game. Thanks, guys.
That's right. John's wrong. He made too big a deal about it. But there you go. I mean, that's a nice problem to have when you break runs. No, the interesting thing was at the end of the first half. When they got stuffed twice, you had to think, oh, my goodness.
Vrabel trying to do cute things that we've seen him do before with the clock, and I can use a loophole and do this. And it works for him.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
it
is May basically he denies it, but he did. He basically took a knee on first down to run clock, so Tampa wouldn't get the ball back. I wonder. The interesting conversation is I wonder if he would do that again. If they played the game over again, if he would do the same thing.
I don't think so.
I don't think he would either. I think
would.
you get the ball in the end zone. I don't think you can get too cute in the first half.
No, it especially based on the two plays that followed. I mean,
you get stuffed twice, and then it takes a perfect pass and a ridiculous catch to score that touchdown.
And at that point, they knew that running between the tackles was not working for them.
It was, especially with Henderson, it wasn't going to happen. So, that's not the back that's going to get you, that's going to make the extra effort. They have learned their lesson. You notice how on that third down, Henderson didn't extend the ball because he knew.
Yeah.
You extend that ball, that comes loose.
Mm-hmm.
You're in big trouble. And May does still.
Did you see Matt Collins try and do it, though?
Yes.
To pick up the first down on that one reception?
I did see
He's
that.
a gamer. That's all he does. That's all he does is
He games.
That's right. I mean, listen, he doesn't just rely on that rabbit-like speed, that cat-like quickness. He, he'll lay his body out for the cause. All right, we'll be back. We will go around the NFL.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the
Hutcher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Maz, Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots went out and won their 7th straight game yesterday.
Handoff with a run up the middle by Henderson. Breaks it to the 40, 35-30. A sprint to the 20. He's gaining ground to the 10, to the 5. He dives to the end zone. Outruns Winfield for touchdown, Patriots.
Oh, man, shot out of a cannon.
That's Bob Socci and Scott Zolak here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's also the first of 2 long touchdown runs for rookie Travion Henderson in a 28-23 victory over the Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Drake made 2 touchdown passes to Kyle Williams and Stephon Diggs as well. Patriots are 8-2. They got a quick turnaround now. They host the Jets on Thursday night. Jets are 2-7 after a 27-21 over Cleveland yesterday. Former NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue died yesterday. He was 84 years old. Celtics won in Orlando 111-107. Jaylen Brown 27 points. Derek White and Anthony Simons added 25 apiece. The Green visit Philadelphia tomorrow night. Basketball Hall of Fame player and coach Lenny Wilkens died last night at the age of 88. And in baseball news, Cleveland relievers Luis Ortiz and All-Star Emmanuel Clase, both indicted by federal prosecutors on charges of fraud, conspiracy, and bribery. This is in connection with a pitch rigging scandal. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurants. On Tuesday, November 11th, all active military and veterans will receive a free lunch from a special menu with the purchase of another entree. Veterans Day special is available at all 99 restaurants. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. It's a separation. Touchdown pass. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub. Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Around the NFL with Toucher and Hardy.
Hit somebody.
All right, it is time to go around the NFL. Around the NFL is brought to you by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua. Starting to feel chilly around the house. Time to schedule your heating tune-up to avoid surprise breakdowns when the cold hits, plus save up to $4,400 in rebates and tax credits on new Lennox systems. Schedule at joycecool.com. Celebrating 30 years. The standings as they are in the NFL right now: Colts, Broncos, Patriots, Steelers, all division leaders in that order. It is conference win percentage that is the difference between the Patriots and the 2 teams in front of them. Obviously, that will all even out. Patriots with a very good shot, and we'll take you through why a very good shot at being maybe even the 1 seed in the AFC.
All right, well, let's start with the game from yesterday, where, just so you know, boys, I'm playing with house money, thanks to our friend Kendra Middleton. 4 for 4 last week. Now, the only game that I bet that she gave us on Friday was the Falcons plus 6.5.
Huh.
You know the final score of that game, John?
Not off the top of my head. That was the Berlin game.
I know the score off the top of my head.
Go right ahead.
Well, it was an overtime game, so he obviously covered.
Yes. Colts 31, Falcons 25. Falcons plus 6.5. So last night I says to Marcy, I says, hey, got some funny money here. Chargers, Steelers.
Go get a perm.
Chargers, Steelers. Who do you like? She said, Chargers. I said, what's the final score? She said, 21-7. I said, fine. Chargers, I'll lay the 3.5, and I'll take the under. And then the Chargers went to work.
The rush 4. Herbert throws. Caught! Touchdown! Chargers! Lad McConkey, 16 yards on what, DJ? You called it, the in-cut.
Oh, by the way, I skipped the first couple of scores because I believe for a while the score was 3-2 in that game.
It was 3-2. It was 3-2, and you know why?
Yes,
you know
I do.
why it was 3-2?
Yes, I do.
Did you see the ingenious veteran?
Yes, I
did. You see that play, Hardy? It's not a big deal if you didn't.
I saw it. I don't know if I have it here.
Pittsburgh's like on the 3.
Their own 3.
Yeah, their own 3.
Yeah, I don't have it. It was glorious.
So, yeah, here's your heady veteran. They're on their own 3. Rodgers backs up the pass. There's a bit of a rush. Now, it is not up the middle. He is not in dire straits. He starts to try to maneuver his body around. He reverts into the end zone.
Yeah.
He goes back, ladies and gentlemen, back into the end zone. He's not in the end zone.
No.
He goes back into the end zone.
Well, he's scrambling.
Well, yeah, he scrambles into the end zone where the ball is dislodged from his hand.
The last place a defense would expect him to, so smart. Go.
Right, that's how they teach it. Because, by the way, it couldn't have been their 3 because his drop back didn't lead him into the end zone. Wherever they were, he dropped back, and he was still in the field of play. He decides to go and run into the end zone and start dicking around back there.
You're not doing a great job.
Back to throw, looking, under pressure, steps up, back into the end zone. He's hit, and he's going to go down.
That guy went out to dinner with his wife and a friend.
Hold on. Fred, you actually may have nailed it. I believe he did go back into the end zone.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Okay, all right. I was like, dude, that happened.
Back to throw, looking, under pressure, steps up, back into the end zone. He's hit, and he's going to go down. Khalil Mack got him in the end zone for a safety. Rodgers backed up, moved to his right, and Khalil Mack brings him down. For Khalil Mack, it's his 4th sack of the year.
Yeah. 3rd and 7 at the Pittsburgh 9. It says
Oh,
here.
Jesus Christ.
That's what it says here.
All right, okay.
I didn't think he was that far out.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Okay.
I knew they weren't on the 3 because that would have at least made sense.
9?
That's what it says here.
Dude, he ran back into the end zone. He's atrocious.
I thought it was closer.
He said the double shotgun. Wow.
He stinks. I mean, he stinks. He had a terrible game. And shame on everyone for, like, he'll come back next year. That's the big thing. Because after the trade deadline, they're like, oh, who's going to need quarterbacks in this draft? And they're like, the Steelers probably sit out. Oh, they're like, the Steelers could take the kid from South Carolina because they can sit him behind Rodgers next year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Bring Rodgers back.
Second half, things really got away from the Steelers.
Herbert hands to Kimani. Kimani into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Kimani Vidal rewarded for all those hard runs earlier today with the score. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the season.
22-3 at that point. Rodgers still trying to make some magic happen in the 4th.
Rodgers, quick throw, middle of the field, and intercepted! Dante Jackson, the former Steeler, to the 40. Out of bounds, right sideline, and that is not on Aaron Rodgers. That is Calvin Austin. It bounced off his hands.
He was wide open.
Wide open. I thought he had a chance to take it to the house.
See, not his fault.
No, but the first interception he threw where he overthrew DK Metcalf by about 5 feet.
Yeah, we're not talking about that one, though.
No, I didn't watch the second half of that game.
No, neither did I. 25-10. The Chargers get the win. Afterward, Mike Tomlin asked about his Hall of Fame quarterback.
How would you assess Aaron's performance tonight?
How would you assess Aaron's performance tonight?
How would you assess Aaron's performance tonight?
How would you? Next.
What'd he say?
How would you?
Yeah.
Next.
Oh, I thought the guy said mixed, and I was going to say not mixed. Mixed bag of excrement. Yes, Jonathan.
Pittsburgh's lost 3 of their last 4, but that one win was over Indianapolis.
Right.
Where they dominated them. Daniel Jones looked horrible. Jonathan Taylor didn't do anything. So the Steelers are 5-4. You look at them objectively, they weren't good last night. They really aren't good offensively. I can't figure out if they're a playoff
They're
team
not
or
good defensively either.
But it's weird. They have that.
They're not a
one
playoff
win.
team.
Yeah.
The only team making the playoffs out of that division, and it's not a hot take, and I've been saying it the whole season, and I'm obviously not the only one, is Baltimore. Baltimore, I said it when Baltimore had one win, they were going to win that division. The Steelers aren't good. They're not. And you can put any kind of theory. I know they beat Indianapolis. I don't think Indianapolis is the world's greatest team. Indianapolis certainly didn't play well Sunday morning. So, it took overtime to beat an Atlanta team that's got nothing to play for anymore. And, and it took overtime, and Jonathan Taylor ran for 715 yards with 45 touchdowns. Daniel Jones is not a good quarterback. And now Indianapolis is all in on him. No, the good teams, other than the Patriots, I like Denver's defense a lot. I wouldn't want to play Denver. I don't know if we're going to do a Denver game.
I don't think we're doing it.
I think Denver didn't play yesterday. Well, they played on Thursday. Denver's defense is insane. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. But out of these like teams that aren't bellwether teams, I mean, New England is the best one. I've seen them all play. New England's the best one. Certainly the most balanced. Defense, offense, they got the best quarterback by far out of those three teams. So outside of Baltimore and Kansas City, and Buffalo looks to be in a lot of trouble. So outside of Baltimore and Kansas City, I mean, New England's better than all these other teams. Like, objectively better. Not this season better, like better.
By the way, I got an email from Joe on Friday afternoon. Said, "Hello, Bobby. A new Fredism, along with Zeitgeist, is, quote, you don't want to play Denver in the playoffs. Has he mentioned that once or twice?"
Do you know why that I mention it? Because what happened to me when I mentioned that weeks ago?
I don't remember.
Do either of you remember?
No.
I was scoffed at.
I do not.
By Callahan.
Oh, Callahan scoffed at you. Okay.
It's happened with Phil Perry and with Callahan, and now my dream is Denver to beat New England in the playoffs. So just like when I was told Hoyer would not make this team.
That's Chris Gasper.
I can then raise my hands in victory.
Well, we were just talking about the Colts. You want to do that game now? Let's do that game.
Yeah, all right. Whatever you want to do, I guess.
Daniel Jones drops back to the NFL Shield at midfield and then throws one deep, looking for the end zone. Brought in by Alec Pierce. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A 37-yard bomb from Jones to Pierce, and the Colts' answer is almost immediate.
I love that Indiana accent.
Well, it's annoying because when they play the international games, the guy from Westwood One is got to be from the place.
Yeah.
And they do bad play-by-play because it's like the wrong kind of descriptive. They're like Daniel Jones, runs to the right side of the offensive line where he's now standing, and he sets his feet and throws. And you're like, okay, well, I can understand all these things.
Daniel Jones to the right side of the pitch. You're like, no.
No, that's mixing sports. And that's a little xenophobic of you, to be honest.
Well, if you want to talk about things that we said were going to happen, this is my guy.
Don't play Denver in the playoffs.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor, MVP, baby.
Give to Jonathan Taylor. He's low over 100 yards. He adds to his total there. He gets out. He's going left sideline. He's got a chance. Look at Pierce. He's at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown. There's the record breaker for Jonathan Taylor.
Huge record. Huge record.
Come on. Why don't you give the guy some credit?
No, I've always been really against Jonathan Taylor.
Thank you for finally admitting it.
He's awful.
Is he going to come through in overtime? Yes.
Counter give to Taylor. Cuts at the 5. He's going to score. Touchdown. Walk-on. The Colts in Berlin with the walk-off touchdown by Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, that's right. We're in Berlin. Let's get the international call.
I would take the Metro of love.
They give it to Jonathan Taylor. Steps back inside, and he takes it to the end zone for the touchdown. The man who has carried the Colts all afternoon in Berlin gets the game-winning score to make it 31-25, and Indianapolis are cantering out of this kingdom with a victory.
I love it.
They're cantering.
That guy emerged from the London rain, and then there you were, waiting there, swimming through apologies.
These are all Berlin references.
Metro by Berlin.
Okay. As we said,
by the band Berlin.
Thank you. I didn't know it was all from the same song though, so it shows you're not quite.
Alkaline Trio does a cover of Metro, which is very good.
Much better than the System of a Down version of it.
Oh, anything System of a Down does, I'm all for.
When I first started playing that, when System of a Down first broke, I was in Albuquerque. We were not playing them in Albuquerque. I had no idea who they were. And there were kids who were calling and asking me to play Sugar, I'm like, oh, you like Bob Mould? That's awesome. I would love to play something from Sugar. I had no idea what they were talking about. All right, so there you go. There's your final there, and Falcons still cover there. The 6.5-point underdogs, 31-25. All right.
Daniel Jones leads the NFL in passing yardage, believe it or not, after yesterday. Jonathan Taylor leads the NFL in rushing yardage by over 200 yards at this point in the season.
But he's not on pace to do what Saquon did last year, and he's not on pace to break any records, which I think it might have been Bedard I heard. No, because I didn't listen to the postgame. It was someone I heard pontificating about the MVP race, and they said that Jonathan Taylor, like, for a running back to win, you got to be like a record breaker. You got to break records.
Yep.
Well, right now he is third. He's moved up. He is now plus 500. Not the plus 1,400 I got him at. Now he's down to plus 500. All right.
Well, there's no quarterback running away with it, so that's the thing.
There are two quarterbacks that are head and shoulders above everybody.
I don't know about that. I would say there's three. There's three quarterbacks.
You put Mahomes in there?
Nope.
There's May, there's Stafford, and who else?
Donald.
Sam Donald.
Darnold.
He is, in terms of odds, behind Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Yeah, the Seahawks have played better than any team in the NFL, maybe. So they let's do the Seahawks game if you want to. I mean, Darnold wasn't. He threw an interception. He was 10 for 12. I mean, he's pretty efficient. They scored 44 points.
They were up 35-0, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, would you want to play Seattle?
I wouldn't want to play Denver.
Did you think Seattle was going to be
that much? I have determined, and I've been saying that for weeks.
How many people are saying I wouldn't want to play Denver in the playoffs? How many other people?
Just you.
What do we do for a living? We talk about sports.
Yep.
Sports and politics.
So it's Denver.
Not necessarily in that order.
So if I have a unique opinion that, while is pertinent to what we talk about, why would I not share it? If Denver comes up and we're going over the standings, I have a unique opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, you watch out. By the way, Seattle, yes, 44-22 yesterday. They are 7-2. They beat an Arizona team that isn't terrible. And Sammy D, almost perfect, except for that interception. No, he didn't put up a ton of yards, but
they've won 7 of their last 8. Seattle has the one loss. Tampa Bay.
Now, would you have predicted Seattle with Sam Darnold new to the team would be 7-2?
No, hell no.
So
no.
I mean, why is he? I'm not saying he deserves it more than May. I'm just saying, why wouldn't he be an MVP candidate? They've lost to the Bucs and the 49ers. There's no shame in that. They beat the Steelers, Saints, Cardinals, Jaguars, Texans, Commanders, and Cardinals. And they beat the Commanders, by the way, with Daniels at quarterback. That was the game he got hurt in. So
got the big game coming up this Sunday, though, on Fox. Probably Brady gets this one. Seattle at the Rams.
Right. And you got to deal with that Rams home crowd.
That's right.
We'll do an AFC East matchup here between the Dolphins and the Bills. We'll talk about that next.
Yeah, the Chargers game was like a home game for Pittsburgh, and the Chargers are the team that actually has fans. So what are you going to do? All right, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
right, we're going around the NFL on Toucher and Hardy. Hardy, what's next?
Buffalo at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida, to take on the Miami Dolphins. Oh, this is going to be a lopsided affair, huh? No chance for the Dolphins.
2nd and 11. Gordon, the running back. Waddle flank to the right. Play action. Tua, plenty of time going deep. Down the side, he's got Waddle. Touchdown.
What a throw. What a catch.
Whoops. This is after Miami jumped out to a 7-0 lead in the first quarter. They're up 16-0 at the half. Bills, are you going to do anything today?
Allen back in the shotgun. Looking right, now left. Going deep down the sideline for Coleman. Back shoulder complete. Reaches for the pylon. He's in for the touchdown. Keon Coleman with a huge touchdown grab. And the Bills are finally on the board.
They would end up scoring 13 points in the fourth quarter, but it was not without mistakes.
There's the tush push to the left. Allen still on his feet, midfield, 45. Ball comes out. Dolphins have it. Mitchell Fitzpatrick fell on it at the 38.
They let him run and stripped it out.
Yeah, those 13 fourth quarter points weren't enough for Buffalo as Miami scored 2 touchdowns in the final frame to get the win 30-13. After the game, Tua.
The more I try to focus or overly try to do something, I tend to get worse at what I'm doing because that's not how I operate with how I do things.
That's like me.
Yeah.
I don't like trying.
That's
the more I try, the more I fail.
It's very Zen-like. You can't try.
Let go.
Did you see what happened before the game started?
No.
Okay. Miami gets the ball first. Penalty. This is in first quarter, first play.
Yeah, this
penalty on the play. It's on Miami, 1st and 15, and they couldn't get the play in on time, so Miami had to call a timeout with no time having elapsed off the clock.
15 minutes to go in the first.
15 minutes to go in the first quarter. Miami used the timeout. So not exactly a Swiss watch like, but they've won 2 out of 3.
I don't know. I don't know how Buffalo can't run the ball against them.
James Cook, by the way, we were talking about Jonathan Taylor being 200 yards ahead of the next guy for the rushing leader. Cook is second.
Yeah, and Miami's rush defense sucks.
Yeah.
So I have no idea why they weren't able to run all over them. In Miami, Achane broke a couple huge runs and this and that. But Buffalo, a lot of holes on that team.
Yeah, Cook, 13 carries, 53 yards.
Just they gave up on the run. I mean, you can run all over Miami. And the Buffalo defense is very suspect. Very suspect. And they lost Kincaid in that game.
Yep.
And now they got nobody.
Hamstring.
Now they got nobody. I mean, who are they going to... They got no receivers. They got no help at the deadline. It's very odd to me. So, Buffalo...
3 sacks for Miami, by the way.
Yeah, and they gave up their best pass rushers. So I guess Chop Robinson's the best pass rusher. But they, there you go. Buffalo 2 games behind now.
Let's talk about another team from the Empire State. Your precious New York Football Jets.
Oh, Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot against them. With the trades and in the negative media attention. You know, they have that thrilling win over Kingmaker Cincinnati. Then they have a bye week,
and then they've got a very tough test in Cleveland.
Well, how many points did Cleveland? What was the Cleveland score against? Let's see. What was the Cleveland score against the Patriots? La da 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 da, and that was in New England. That was a 32-13 game. Okay.
All right. First quarter.
Isaiah Williams back deep to receive the punt of Bojorquez. And once again, he'll kick.
Bojorquez, former Patriot. Loved him.
Get away from inside his own 20-yard line. Again, returnable. Williams at the 26-yard line. He gets loose down the sideline at the 50. Cuts it back left to the 40. He's at the 30. He'll go all the way. 10-5, touchdown.
76-yard punt return to make it 14-7 in the first quarter, Fred.
You know how they got the first touchdown?
It was a punt return.
No, kick. That was the punt return.
That was a kick return.
They had a kick return touchdown, then a punt return touchdown.
They had 2 yards of offense in the first quarter, and they were up 14-7.
17.
That's the way you do things. There's 3 facets to the game. You dominate one, you're in good shape.
17-17 at the half. No scoring for either team in the third quarter.
Hard to keep my attention on the Patriot game with all this excitement going on at MetLife. I mean, it was a real barn burner.
Fields looks right, swing pass right, caught on the screen. Brees Hall runs right to the 35, down inside the 20, to the 15, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. An all-out blitz, and Justin Fields burns the Browns defense. Perfectly executed screen to Brees Hall, and the Jets have the lead back.
Okay, so Fields was electric in that game. That was just one of his many incredible passes. He had -5 yards passing in the first half.
I have a stat for you if you'd like.
Go ahead.
Justin Fields, 4 for 4 for 47 yards and a touchdown on throws at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, not great. I'll tell you, he'll have a good game, and then he'll turn around and he'll look like he's never played quarterback before. So anyway, so the Jets are up 10. They get the ball. There's like a minute and 50 left. Run. Okay. Now it's third down. Fields takes the ball. Snap to Fields. He's rolling. Obviously, he's not going to throw the ball. They're not idiots. And gets tackled for a loss. Oh, thanks, Cleveland. Holding, defensive holding, first down. Run. There's still like a minute and 15 seconds left. Jets, fourth down. They're going for it on fourth down. They have the ball at like midfield. They're going for it at fourth down. They're going for it fourth down. Of course they're not. Hard count, encroachment, defense, game. That's how the game ended. Cleveland with 2 penalties, one on third down and one on a fourth down. One on a third down where they were obviously not going to throw, and there's a defensive holding. And then a penalty on a fourth down where they were obviously not going to snap the football. I don't think Shane Steichen longed for that job in Cleveland. That if you're the owner, that's got to be like, okay, that's it.
A little frustrating, yeah.
Because you get the ball back against the Jets, even though Dylan Gabriel's terrible. You get the ball back against the Jets. Who knows? But Will McDonald, 4 sacks. Don't look now. Coming to your town. Short week. Anything can happen. Divisional opponent. Who knows? Justin Fields could throw for 70 yards.
Aaron Glenn said something after the game I wanted to ask you about, Fred.
I just want to win, home, away. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, it's great to win at home in front of our fans. I've been saying this for a while. I want to build something that the fans are proud of. Listen, I know we're not close to being that yet, but I have full confidence that's what we plan on doing.
And he says he wants Jets fans to feel proud again. So what I would like to know is the last time you felt pride at being a Jets fan.
I think the first time I saw Woody Johnson go out in the sun without a big floppy hat on.
Okay. Is that something throwing caution to the wind?
Yeah, I thought, I was like, here's the guy.
Dancing with the UV rays?
Some rich guys, like the guy from Richard Branson, they'll go up into space or climb Everest. Woody Johnson went out without a floppy hat on one time. It was pretty amazing. No, look, say what you will. They needed that win. As many wins as Glenn... Look, obviously they suck, but as many wins as Glenn can get. Just a stat... things were very bad. You got to, get these guys... The guys that are staying around to buy in. And the defense looked very good for this last 3 quarters yesterday. So there you go.
All right, we got time for one more here as the Houston Texans were playing host to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags up early.
That's a bomb. Boy, that is a bomb of a punt. Washington fields it at the 29-yard line. Gets up the field, 35, 40-yard line. Running room for Parker Washington, 45, 40, 30. Oh, on the right sideline, Parker Washington. He's going to bring it back. Parker Washington, touchdown Jacksonville. There are no flags. The Jags have extended the lead.
That made it 17-0. Texans found themselves in a 19-point fourth quarter deficit. And
by the way, they don't have their quarterback.
Yes. C.J. Stroud out with a concussion.
Yes. So they are, they remember the Davis Mills, the guy that everyone was like, wait, maybe he's a first-round pick. Who knows? Davis Mills is the man under center.
Yes. Here he is.
Davis looking. Davis stepping to his left. Davis on the run. 10. Davis 5. Davis to the corner. Davis! Touchdown! Houston! The Texans take the lead on the Mills scramble. Amazing! D. Mills gets it done.
Davis, yeah, what you want? I'm with Wallach and he's busy.
No free of time.
Unless you have Astroglide or some junk. I ain't want to hear it. All right, very good.
Once again, they had a lot of points to make up for. Would they make up for all of them?
Shotgun for Trevor. Looking. He hit. The ball came out. It's intercepted. It is intercepted. It's going to be run back on the final play of the game. It's going to be a touchdown. And Houston wins it 36-29.
Yeah, they were already up a point, and that was it. So Houston, with an amazing fourth quarter comeback, gets the 36-29 win to move to 4-5. Jacksonville sitting at 5-4 on the season.
By the way, that game went until like 6 o'clock at night, and it wasn't even an overtime game. It just went on and on and on and on and on. Hot take: Trevor Lawrence isn't very good. He's not as good as other people, as everyone thought he was going to be when he came out. I don't know if that's as controversial as my Denver playoff take, but
not nearly.
By the way, they were not 8-2 when I made that statement. They were like 3-2 or something of that nature. So just you watch. Mock all you want.
We can still talk about one of these MVP favorites here, Matt Stafford, as the Rams, as Bob Socci would say. We're playing the 49ers yesterday.
Matthew has it, throws down the line. Tunnel screen, Puka Nacua gets one block, now another. He's clean. 10-5, touchdown Puka! And the Rams surge to a 2-touchdown lead in Santa Clara.
2 touchdowns is good. 3 touchdowns would be better.
Matthew away from center. Play fakes. Rolls to his right. Stafford into daylight. Hits the sideline. Flicks to the back. It's caught for a touchdown. Davis Allen open late. And that's career touchdown pass number 400 for Matthew Stafford.
By the way, the 49ers are good. The Rams beat them 42-26. I do want to ask you a question. Drake May's been great. Stafford's got 25 touchdowns and 2 picks.
Yep.
Like, Stafford's been the best quarterback in the NFL this season.
Yep.
May has been fantastic, and May is carrying this team.
Mm-hmm.
May deserves all the MVP credit. I think it's, again, 3 people. I think it's Darnold, May, and Stafford. Put May ahead of Darnold. There's no question about it. But, I mean, I do think it's interesting that May is the favorite to win MVP now over Matthew Stafford. Stafford's numbers are insane.
By the way, Jared Goff, 20 touchdowns, 3 interceptions this season. And if you throw out Lamar Jackson, because he hasn't played most of the season, Goff is leading the NFL in passer rating. Darnold is second. Stafford is third.
But Goff's never going to get any credit because of now that Dan Campbell's calling plays. It's almost unfair, that offense.
By the way, Mac Jones yesterday, 33 of 39 for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, but this one pick.
Mac Jones to throw. Pressure on his doorstep. It's tipped. It's intercepted for the second week in a row. Emmanuel Forbes has an interception. LA takes over. Up 15 points with 8.5 to play in regulation. Terrible throw from Mac Jones.
Yeah, that game was like 21-0 or something. Like, Mac Jones throwing, I think, had a nice cushion of which to throw into for a great deal of that game. But Mac Jones did, statistically play well. And you got to give Belichick a lot of credit for that, because Belichick, was the guy that really developed him.
Yeah. He benched him how many times his last year here?
I mean, he would bench him twice in a game.
Seriously.
Just keep benching him.
I think it was 6 or something, 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Usually when you bench a quarterback, he doesn't come back, but the team was so bad they kept putting him back in there.
Yeah, Belichick, that was when Belichick had lost his mind. And by the way, congratulations to North Carolina for that heady 5-point win over Stanford.
4-5, Fred.
Yeah, listen, 2 more wins to be bowl eligible.
4-5, right. And they'll be right back here in the Fenway Bowl.
By the way,
like they were last season.
If you think they're winning, I'm not positive they're going to be bowl eligible.
George Kittle had a nice compliment for his quarterback yesterday.
I mean, looking back when he first got here, did you expect Mac Jones to be this good?
No, I did not. Nope, I did not. Nope. It's awesome. What a hell of a football player.
I get why he was a first-round draft pick. He's not like dangerous with the football either. Like he makes good throws. He forces a couple, once in a while, but he's doing a great job. I'm a huge fan of Mac Jones. He's hilarious, and I love playing football with him because you can tell he really loves the game.
The best thing about Kittle
said not dangerous with the football.
Here's the best thing about Kittle is that as long as Kelsey gets this relationship with Taylor Swift ends, Kittle will take over because Kittle's got a better personality. So at least Jason Kelsey gets knocked off the map a little bit. They have they're drafting off of Taylor Swift. So that as long as Taylor Swift's in the picture, she's got to have like a Michael Jackson situation, like a Neverland Ranch situation or something for anything to go off the rails with her. But as long as that relationship remains intact, but if not,
why do you say he's got a better personality though than Travis Kelce?
He doesn't do that. He always has spoken with the same accent.
Don't nobody know we represent and honor every single veteran that went to war for us in World War I.
You should have saved
What's
that.
good?
That's for salute to
tomorrow.
service.
You should have saved that for tomorrow.
Salute to service, yeah.
Yeah.
Why? What's tomorrow?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Come on, Fred.
Every day's
Fourth
Veterans Day for
quarter,
me.
6 and
All right.
You guys just celebrate it one day a year?
That's
Oh, I see. I like America. Love it. Live for it.
Got it.
I identify as an American. I guess in this woke culture, that's not cool anymore.
Support the troops. There, I said it first.
Well done.
I love firefighters. Actually do. The trucks.
They used to climb that ladder out there in Dorchester. That ladder must have been.
Would they
10
climb it
stories
or would they just extend it?
No, they climb it. I'd see them climbing it.
Yeah,
they would do drills.
they
That's why it
climb
was
in the morning.
extended.
Oh,
Yeah, they
okay.
climbed it in the morning.
In the morning.
It was quite harrowing. Like
Yeah.
this 5-story ladder, they would do drills, and it wasn't leaning up against anything. For some reason, that makes it seem safer. It was just hanging in the air, and they would climb that thing, and Wallach and I would be looking out.
What are you doing?
That's right.
Lord. It's 10 degrees outside.
There'd be text messages coming off the mini mimeograph, and we'd be looking out the window, none the wiser. All right, we will be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy.
happened?
He's got the same questions.
Where is the story?
And the same opinions.
Boring.
And he's back with Fred on the Sports Hub.
The Patriots, Marvin, go ahead.
Hey, how we doing today, guys?
Hey, what's up, Marvin?
I want to ask you, why come my Steelers don't get good receivers?
They got DK Metcalf.
He's pretty good.
Every year they get these college receivers to pair with a good receiver.
Oh, well, you can't bust on the Steelers drafting of receivers. I mean, they went through a run there where they were insane. They were getting guys in late rounds like Antonio Brown and Hines Ward. I mean, they converted quarterbacks and stuff. Like, you can't. That's ridiculous. The Steelers did more with receivers than anyone else for years and years and years. I mean, you can go through the all-time Steelers receivers. I mean, Johnny Stallworth. I mean, you got Louis Lips.
George Pickens.
Yeah.
Calvin Austin still plays for them.
He's no good.
No? Okay. Chase Claypool. You want to go there?
I mean, look at what
Deontay Johnson, who's bounced around.
Juju Smith-Schuster was good for them.
That's right.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I said that, but
okay.
no. I mean, you get a kid from Central Michigan,
Sammy Coates from Auburn. We're going back to 2015 now.
Yeah.
Let's see, Dre Archer, Martavis Bryant.
All right.
No.
Listen, for a long time they've had since the 70s they've had receivers.
Yes.
I mean, I can go through Hines Ward, Antonio Brown, John Stallworth, Heath
Swan.
Miller, the great tight end, Louis Lips, who I mentioned, Lynn Swan, Deontay Johnson, Plaxico Burress, Mike Wallace. I mean,
But DK Metcalf not doing well is more on the quarterback than him this year.
Well, there was that interception that DK Metcalf was wide open, and Rodgers threw it about 5 yards over his head, right into the chest. Rodgers threw an interception to a 400-pound defensive lineman last year, a pick six to Leonard. I believe he played for Seattle, and that was a pick six that was returned.
Franco Harris was the subject of maybe Zoe's biggest meltdown ever on the air when an intern put into the call screener. Do you know this?
Yes.
Somebody called in. I don't know how we were on the topic of, the Steelers of yore, but the call screener put in, the guy wants to talk about Frank O'Harris.
Oh. Joe completely lost it.
What? You think he's Irish?
He was out of his mind. He wasn't playing for the radio either.
Franco
he
had
was
that
legit pissed.
He had like that Italian army thing. He had that whole
O'Harris.
What was the Franco Harris thing at Three Rivers called? It was called like Franco's like Italian something or other. It was he was like had a whole identity. He certainly
Franco's
was not
panko
Irish.
crusted chicken.
No, it was Franco had this big banner at every Steelers game with him. I saw the Steelers in Three Rivers while Franco Harris was on that team. Franco Harris played on that team for 25 years.
Franco's Italian Army, yeah.
Yeah, Franco's Italian. See?
Yep.
He tried to get weird with it, but I was right.
1972.
It's very creative.
Yeah, Franco's Italian Army.
Franco's fans. Franco's Italian football fans.
Yeah.
That's what we are.
It wasn't Ken Benson's corner of the Silverdome
right.
when Ken Benson was on the Pistons.
Benson's beauties. He had all those hot chicks.
It was like Kent's Kids or something like that. It was like ridiculous. Kent Benson, one of the great college players of all time, didn't translate to the pros.
No.
You go to an early '80s Pistons game at the Silverdome. Because I never even went to one at Cobo or Joe Louis when they knocked around at Cobo for a while there, which is like just a convention center. And you'd go to one and it would be Kelly Tripucka and Kent Benson. Now, I love that they were white. Now, that I was on board with.
Sure. Of course.
Right.
And then they bring Lambier in, and I'm like, we have a triumvirate of very good whites. And Tripucka was a scoring machine.
Hell yeah.
White. One of the original Orlando Magic, too.
I think it was Charlotte.
Same difference.
One of my sister's friends swore up and down that he was driving through the condo complex known as Hampton, not far out, close to where the Silverdome was. It would make sense that Kelly Tripucka lived there. not setting down big roots or whatever, or close to the Silverdome. That's where the Pistons played.
Yeah.
And they had just gone to A&W and picked up food, and they saw Tripucka running in a white tracksuit and nailed him with a chili dog. And they talked about it for years after that.
That's like a reverse Seinfeld.
The great chili dog incident of nailing Kelly Tripucka with a Did you hate Kelly Tripucka? No. Why'd you do it? Because we had a chili dog that wasn't particularly tasty, and he was wearing a white tracksuit, and we wanted to ruin it.
Terrible.
Poor Kelly Tripucka.
But if he lived in Pontiac, that just shows you.
No, he's in Rochester.
We bought our house because
Madonna's hometown.
So we bought our house, and when we bought our house, the neighbors whatever. I was like real little, and then like when I was like 1 when we bought our house in front 2 when we bought our house in Farmington Hills, and my parents sold it back in like 2000 something for $150,000. So I can tell you this is not some substantial piece of property. And the neighbor kid, Tommy Breen, came up to me and he goes, I hate that you moved in. Like, this was when I was a little bit older, and I'm like, why? And he's like, because we used to get free Piston tickets from the old neighbor. It was the GM of the Pistons. Lived in a house that was like a $10,000 house. My friend Jay, when he got out of Michigan State, when he moved back from Atlanta, lived in the same condo complex. Zetterberg and Datsuk were roommates. They were roommates in a Royal Oak condo. Like, $800 a month like apartment building. They make too much money now, these players. They're not part of the community, even though I know where Drake May lives.
Oh. Tell everybody right now.
And that story about him driving the same car that he got, his first car, I don't doubt he still has it, but let's just say it ain't all he's got.
He has more than one car?
He lives in Westwood.
Okay.
Would you like to know the address?
No.
Okay, it's a beautiful home.
Kyle Van Noy lived in a very modest home in Canton and then moved into a bigger home, and then he left. And then he left, he came back, and then he left again. And when he left the second time, I believe that's the home that Mac Jones moved into, also in Canton.
And then he tried to get free country club memberships, even though he sucked.
My sister, I said, what was the guy's name that swore he hit Kelly Tripucka with a chili dog? Immediately, Joe Green. Oddly enough, he sent me a Facebook message last week.
And oddly enough, that's Mean Joe Green. And we were just talking about Franco Harris.
How about that?
Yeah. Hardy's sister, very good friends with Joe Green. All right, Bob Socci will join us in just a moment.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Tampa. Play fake to Henderson, steps up, lobs the throw to the right. It's caught and run by Kyle Williams. Peeling way to the 40, 35-30, 25-20, speeding down the right sideline to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots! Short motion by Diggs, snap to May, looks left, throws it to the end zone for Diggs. Reaches up, touchdown!
Holy crap!
Handoff with a run up the middle by Henderson, breaks it to the 40, 35-30, a sprint to the 20. He's gaining ground to the 10, to the 5, he dives to the end zone. Now runs Winfield for a touchdown, Patriots!
Oh man, out of a shot out of a can.
Henderson has it. Travion gets outside. Goodbye to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, Patriots! There's your ball game.
Yes, that was the call. Huge win. A statement victory yesterday by your Patriots. 28-23 in Tampa Bay. Bob Socci is the voice you heard there. He's the voice of the New England Patriots on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. Bob Socci's hot takes are brought to you by Bigelow Tea. By now, you should know Bob starts every game with his favorite Bigelow Tea. No matter how hectic your day gets, be sure to grab a mug of Bigelow Tea and tea proudly. Hi, Bob.
Hi, good morning, Fred. Good morning, Hardy, John.
Good morning. And I don't. You ever do a spit take during your broadcast? Because Mark Dondero did following your broadcast. He heard now. You don't have any Bigelow Tea around you right now in your mouth, do you?
I do not.
Because this is what made him spit take. That Burt Breer polled NFL people, and that only one of them had Drake May as their MVP, and then liquid launched out of his mouth. That's right. It is funny. It is the height of humor. It's up there with fake vomit and rubber chickens, yes. But nonetheless, have you ever spit taked there, Bobby Sos?
Not while calling a game. I'm certainly, I guess I'm familiar with a lot of spit takes in my time. I don't know how many on the air. Maybe once or twice. Maybe with a question that Felger or Maz gave me at some point on a Friday when I took a sip of my Bigelow Tea. But I don't recall any during the game. There's sometimes that I sound like I'm spitting up. My words, but otherwise, no.
Yeah, because I know that you are a big Carol Burnett fan, and that that a lot of Easter eggs in his broadcast, a lot of references to Tim Conway and the such, and he's a big physical comedy guy.
Yeah, what are your thoughts
I
on
love Tim Conway?
Dorf on golf. I was just going to ask you about that. Yeah, I mean that's funny stuff.
Oh my God. Every Saturday night when I was a little kid, my parents would go visit relatives, and I would sit in front of the TV. I certainly wasn't privy to the adult conversations, so I'd sit in front of the TV, and Carol Burnett and Friends was always part of the lineup. I think along with Fantasy Island and The Love Boat.
Yeah.
So I love
real
Tim
brain
Conway.
trust over there.
Yeah. It was great.
I'll tell you, I loved when Harvey Korman would break every scene, and just it made it. You knew he was having a good time when every single skit he was in, he would break. He was like Fallon. It really added a lot of value.
You don't give enough credit to Dorf on golf. It wasn't just a bit. They made videos that they would then sell on special infomercials for Dorf on golf. I mean, this was part of the zeitgeist.
First of all, I don't know that word. And second of all, I have them in constant leather.
Oh, okay.
I'm a bit of a completist.
I understand.
Including the ones after he passed away with his son. I actually know Tim Conway's son. He was on the radio in L.A. All right, Bob, about football.
Did you spit take when what's his name went into the end zone? When Henderson went into the end zone at the end of the game instead of pulling up short and allowing the clock to run out?
No, I'm not smart enough, Hardy, to even think about that. I just was calling him running down the sidelines and got so excited in the moment. I got a little overexcited about a lot of things yesterday, listening to those highlights.
No, it was a big game. A lot of big plays.
I thought they were great calls. I thought they fit the mood and the tone of the game perfectly. But I'm the same way. It's like I understand it's the coach's job and everyone's job to situationally be aware of everything going on, timeouts, clock, how many downs, all that stuff. But in the moment, number one, I guess impressive that Drake May would be telling him to stay out because mathematically he already had it all figured out. But I don't know how you stay out of the end zone on that. I really don't.
Well, I think the situation too is a little bit different in that, to me, I think like that touchdown represented a clinching touchdown just as much as going down in the field of play and then running out time would do it. So, as he's running down the sideline in that moment, and I think it's also the other difference is that it's a long run. It's a 69-yard run as opposed to a drive that develops downfield, and you start to think about those things in your mind. I mean, that's a shot out of the cannon. I think as Zoe referenced it, and for me, in that moment, I think I was so surprised that he got outside, and then there was nobody from Tampa Bay even close to him to catch him.
Well, you're selling out. You're selling out to stop. That's what happens. You break that first line of containment, and then you're gone. Yeah. All right, so big statement win. What does this tell you about the team? I just can kind of set you up because it's such a vague question. I thought that when May threw the interception and the defense held, and especially held on fourth down, that if you can do that against that Tampa Bay team, regardless of how banged up they are, but against that Tampa Bay team that's come back so many times this season, that speaks of your potential. Because that's what we're looking at now, right? Is potential in the playoffs, the realistic expectations, and that's got to raise them a little bit.
I would agree, Fred. I think that one of the things that I said at the end of the broadcast is that during the week, a number of people around here who cover the team on a regular basis said, as I thought, that this was a tough spot for the Patriots. They were dealing with injuries really for the first time in multiple numbers going into a game. It was the 10th straight week they were playing. The Bucs, a good team, were coming off a bye. They're going down to Florida. They got to deal with the conditions there, the humidity in Tampa. That with a short week coming up afterwards as well. Mike Vrabel scaled things back last week. That it was really a difficult position for them to be in, to go down there and win that game. And considering all those conditions, and then the fact that they didn't have Stevenson and lost Terrell Jennings, which left Henderson, with a season-high number of snaps, and obviously he responded extremely well. And as you mentioned, the resilience of the team. May commits that turnover. Looks like the Bucs, who do have that pedigree where they've won a number of close games. I think they were 4-1 in games decided by 6 points or fewer going into yesterday, and they've got a track record. They got a quarterback who's led them to the playoffs the last 2 years, an experienced guy. They're not a lot of playmakers, because of Goodwin's injury and without Irving, his injury, but they still had Ibuka and out there. So, you look at that, and I think it was it was natural to think that, okay, Tampa Bay is going to take advantage of this, and maybe the Patriots get the ball back with a chance to answer. But, this is the Bucs' opportunity to go ahead and forge in front, and the Patriots defense was able to get the stop it needed.
Considering what I thought this team would be at the beginning of the season, and now looking at them now, I'm shocked I'm about to ask you this, but are the Patriots the best team in the AFC?
Well, John, I think they're right up there when you look at all the flaws that everybody else has. I mean, Buffalo seemingly turns a corner in the loss and the win against Kansas City, and then runs into a wall in South Florida. So that's a big setback for them, and all the questions that have followed them since the loss to the Patriots now reappear. Kansas City, I think a couple of weeks ago, I thought maybe they had turned a corner, and clearly had not at 5-4 after that Buffalo loss. You look at the Chargers last night, another team out of the AFC West. You look at the North Division. I mean, Baltimore is a team that I think gets scarier now with Lamar Jackson back, and in that division, they're in position now where they can overtake Pittsburgh and I think win the North, and there'll be a much different test when the Patriots face them than we might have thought a couple of weeks ago before Lamar returned from injury. But I just look at the landscape in the NFL. I don't know who else is out there right now that you could say, okay, they're clearly, a better team. But so much of it hinges on, again, the depth of this Patriots team or lack
Did you
thereof.
say in the NFL or the AFC?
I'm saying they should say the AFC.
Yeah,
I mean,
the AFC.
even in the NFC. I mean, I think there are a few teams that stand out clearly in the NFC compared to the AFC. But I just think in the AFC specifically.
The AFC. Yeah, I totally agree with you. The NFC's got some. That's a challenging conference, and everyone thought the AFC was going to be the real test, but the NFC there's some blue blood right now.
And you look at like Indianapolis yesterday; they should have lost that game.
They should have.
So how did they come back and win? You look at Jacksonville, a team that's been a feel-good story for much of this year, to lose that game the way they did to Davis Mills and Houston. So you look at the South, you look at the North, as I mentioned. The records for those teams in that division, and I think the West isn't as strong as a lot of people expected going into the season. So I think whoever comes out of the East, the Patriots in Buffalo, they have to like their chances.
All right. So, don't look now. Short week.
Yeah.
Who's coming to town? Red hot New York Jets. Do you worry at all about you saw Buffalo get blown out by Miami. Is there anything that you're worried about with this team in a short week coming off a statement victory?
Well, I think with this team, I don't think
I wouldn't.
Like the idea of a trap game. I don't think that's a reality for this team. I think there's an understanding. I think Vrabel is really, instilled in them the belief, the understanding that they're still not where they can be, and they're chasing consistency still. I mean, Robert Spillane talked about it yesterday at the podium. Even though 7 straight wins and an 8-2 record through 10 games speaks to consistency. So I don't think from a mental standpoint, going into this game against the Jets, there's going to be any letdown. So the idea of a trap game to me, it's not it's not unimaginable, but I don't think that it's likely for this team. I don't know what to make of the Jets. I think they got a bump and they beat a bad Cleveland team, going through another tumultuous season. They just made a change with their offensive play calling. Kevin Stefanski turning things over to Tommy Reiss. A lot of reports out of Northeast Ohio about the uncertainty there with that entire coaching staff. So credit to the Jets for winning that game at home.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much of that was just the bump with some of the trades they made and maybe a wake-up call to other guys and the opportunity they got, and also the current ineptitude of the Browns.
Kind of a glass half empty situation going there with you,
yeah,
Bob.
he doesn't feel great. Bob, it was proposed to us that we give you a handful of either words or phrases that perhaps you could try and work in to the next game call, which of course would be Thursday night against the Jets. This is something that you're aware of?
Well, I'm not aware of it from your show. I have gone through this experience previously in a prior broadcasting stint. So I've got some familiarity with it, but I don't know if you fire away.
Did you do what did you do? Army or you did Navy?
Navy. I did Navy. Yeah.
Yeah. So they what was it like? You were an agent of Russia or something, and you would go in and you would drop in
frown upon such behavior.
Yeah, I would imagine that very hard ground to cover there.
Well, this one would have been perfect for yesterday, but should it happen again?
Yes,
if a play goes for 69 yards, I want you to repeat that 69. Hell yeah! Would you be willing to do that?
I'd strongly consider that one. I think that one I might be able to slip in there. We'll see.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
It's like go. You know what I call that? A give and take. Scotty Z, and then high five them.
There we go.
Well, Romo was going nuts yesterday talking about a team being DTF.
Yeah, he thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was having fun with that. And Nance got it completely.
Yeah.
Nance knew what he was doing.
Yes. Jim almost as hip as I am.
You know what Nance loves more than anything? Showing a picture of himself from long ago with a dead guy saying, look at how important I was even back then. He does it all the time. The anniversary of Nance's like whatever it is, his 70th anniversary at CBS. I was watching the game. I think it might have been a Jets game, and they devoted a non-exaggeration 15 minutes of real broadcast time to filleting him about being around for a long time. And they did it during the game, the Patriot game. They showed him talking. They're like, Paul Tagliabue died. Who cares? It's a photo of Paul Tagliabue. But they did the same thing for every game.
Yeah.
If you flipped around, they did the same thing, the same picture, the same thing. The NFL told them, like, hey, do this thing about Paul Tagliabue. The kids are distraught. And they do the thing about Tagliabue, and then they show Tagliabue presenting the Super Bowl trophy, and Nance is talking to him, and he's like, yeah, that's me talking to him.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow. How about that, Jim?
Stood right next to him.
Yeah, wow. It's in the presence. You got to be devastated right now. How are you even calling this game? I can't stand him. I cannot stand him.
He's a very nice guy, Fred. He's an extremely nice guy.
Yeah, unless you're the help.
No, I will say that, and I'm gonna drop a name here. Scott Augustine. Scott has been at Gillette Stadium for a long, long time. He's a press box attendant, and Scott is as salt of the earth as one can be. And Jim Nance, when he sees Scott, he will often bring him a gift. I got in the elevator yesterday with the CBS crew, and Jim could not have been nicer to the woman who was operating the elevator.
Was it Catherine?
I'm saying that in all seriousness. He really is a very nice man.
Why does he bring a picture of how he wants his toast done to diners?
Because he wants his toast done the way he wants his toast
How about you
done.
take the toast and you leave everyone at the diner alone? Take raw bread. Act like a duck and eat the pieces.
I mean, I believe me, I travel with some guys who are very picky, or at least one who's very picky about the way his food is presented and prepared.
Capello.
And I would not qualify him as highfalutin. I think he's as down to earth as it gets.
Capello?
No. You must have heard Zoe talking about Dennis, and
Knudsen. He only eats hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
But he's a triathlete.
And there's a certain order to which the condiments are prepared and presented.
Oh boy!
But look.
Oh, he's got a crushing OCD. You're saying
totally blue collar guy, great work ethic.
Tennis? He wouldn't like that. He's an engineer.
He's my guy. He does a great
You're
job.
throwing all these names around. Who's blue collar, Nance? He was roommates with Freddie Couples.
Dennis Knudsen.
Huh? Who? Too many name drops, and these are all people no one knows. What a boring guest you are. All right, just do the 69 thing, Bob.
Okay. I will drop it in. Hell yeah.
All right, so I am going to the game on Thursday, and I have to be there 2 hours early because they're nice enough to let my son and I on the field. I can't wear Jet stuff if I go on the field, though. My son can't wear Jet stuff, right? They wouldn't like that. Because he's going on like the Patriots thing, right? He can't wear Jet stuff, right?
I would.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, so
dress neutral colors.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to let him wear Patriot stuff, but yes. So I will see you. I will see you on Thursday. So look forward to that. He's all business though. When you see Bobby, he's very nice, but he's all business. Even like way before the game. I know Scott's not there. I mean, Bob's all business. He's like all business right away. I feel bad bothering him. I do feel bad bothering him.
Don't bother him.
But then he'll be disappointed that he knows I'm there.
Yeah.
I got to kill 2 hours. What do you want me to do? I'm
the
going
last thing you want is for Bob to spot you down on the field and you not come up and visit.
Sitting sitting outside on a Thursday night when it's in November in New England, when I could be in a heated room. I mean, Bob can't big time me. I'll leave him alone, but I certainly am demanding to be in that room. They let me right in with no pass, too.
Fred, you are always welcome in our room. You can stop by. You can see our press box attendant, Scott, and ask him about Jim Nance. And you can pass along another word or two, and I'll be happy to share some Bigelow tea as well.
Okay.
Well done. Getting that plug in there.
We will make it a comfortable, welcoming place for you.
Yeah, maybe I'll take a snooze, take a little nap in there. Don't worry about it.
Well, you wouldn't be the first.
No. All right.
Be the first talk show co-host on this station to do that.
Has Scott ever pooed on a chair there like he has here? That was All right. Well, listen, Bob Socci, thank you so much. What a great call. What a great win. And we appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
All right, guys. I'll try not to be so boring next time.
Yeah, you sucked. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're great. Everyone loves Bobby Sos. All right, Bobby, thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, I'll see you on Thursday. He's very excited. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
All right.
The Thing on the Sports Hub.
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. If you want to email us, simply go to 985thesportshub.com and click on our email addresses. If you want to follow us on social media, at Toucher and Hardy, you can follow at Hardy985, and you can follow me solely on Instagram at Fred Toucher, where we are knocking on the door of 26,000 still. We're just literally like a handful of people away.
Thursday night, you take a little photo there on the sideline before the game. That's what's going to get you over the hump.
Yeah, because I can't resort to shenanigans like Mark Dondero did.
Mm-hmm.
We went over earlier the controversy that surrounded Dondero after this happened on the post-game show yesterday.
I think it was 42 personnel people around the league. Drake May got one vote. It was pretty spread out. I mean, Matthew Stafford got third.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, is a spit take on the radio. Dondero using the old comedy trick of the spit take, and it became a whole thing because Jim Murray then tweeted the video at Hardy.
Yes, he tweeted out the video of the spit take with the quote, tweeted it and said, the F, although he said the actual word, question mark. Somebody replied, what a dick move. And then Dondero replied, I spit the water into a trash can. You going to be okay?
My knee hurts from slapping it so hard at the physical comedy.
So that reply from Dondero inspired Matt McCarthy to then, quote, tweet that.
So I have McCarthy's tweet.
Okay, so Dondero said, I spit the water into a trash can. You going to be okay, 1080? That was the Twitter handle of the person who said it was a dick move. What did McCarthy say, Fred?
So I really need to get back on Twitter. This is all very productive. Matt McCarthy says, I do thank Jim for getting this started. He says, that animal Dondero's, I can't even say his name. Official statement after deliberately spitting liquid all over the studio where 20-plus other human beings work. No remorse. No apology. Nothing. I'm convinced even Zoe would tacitly? I can't. Too big a word. Tacitly acknowledge some level of wrongdoing. So McCarthy, a veiled shot at one Mark Dondero. All right. So
you gotta give him that huck to it.
All right. So Jeremy says, subject says it all. Spit and ambient noise. I need an ambient noise titled "Man listening to sports talk radio in headphones and has spit take over MVP talk. Make it happen. I will guffaw my breakfast out of my nose." He's referring to Adam's terrible bit.
It's track 101 on the Fred Armisen album.
Which led to Hardy's good bit. And if you'll recall, this is the sound of Adam's ex-wife getting her alimony from Adam.
Do you have it, Hardy?
I do. I have it.
Good.
Am I up?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. There you go.
It's change. She's opened an envelope for alimony and it has change. On the account of the lack of money that Adam has. Even just the idea of him giving alimony is asinine. This is from Joe. What's next for that scamp Dondero? Cake batter on the crotch of Wallach's pants to make it look like he, whatted himself? Slip a turd down John's shorts and have him think he crapped his pants?
Don't!
And then he has some other ideas. What's the joke, Mark? What's the joke? Now, gentlemen, I am, because I didn't know about this before I came in. You guys informed me about it this morning. And I did have you'll notice in the refrigerator there's a banana cream pie. Feel free to eat it because what I was it's not being used for its intended purpose. what was to slap one of you guys in the face. Or I would have even given it to you. Like, say I would have made a mistake, very rare, or stumbled over my words, never happened. And you take the pie and then you put it in my face, and then we let the camera linger on me while I lick my lips. Oh, that's right, we're on the radio. Dendero's apologizing for the wrong thing. Should apologize for what, Hardy, as we've discussed?
He's apologizing for the grossness of the spitting in the studio when the only thing he truly needs to apologize for is the hackiness of the spit take.
Yes, it's a horribly hacky move.
And I don't even know that an apology would suffice, but you need to start. You have to at least make the effort.
Yeah, and Gallagher now is going to sue. That has been established.
Oh.
We had talked about that before, and now Dondero has a Sledge-O-Matic. He hasn't used it yet because there has been no watermelons available given the season. Adam says, how can we forget about the OG spit take by Zoe with the QC Kinetics read?
I'm looking for it right now.
Mark is pulling a Carlos Mencia-like act of thievery here. That is from Adam. So Zoe, we've talked about how Zoe's disgusting things have always been very genuine and on the nose, like when he crapped the chair here in studio. Remember that? That was a good one. Dave says, these are all about Dondero. We talked about
all of them.
We talked about when a lady was walking by the studio during the postgame show. Dondero obviously found her attractive because he was biting his fist, like Squiggy and Lenny. Dave says, the fact that Mark bit his fist when the pretty girl walked by shows he learned his lessons. The last time he apparently struck himself in the head many times with a mallet, causing his eyeballs to pop in and out. Gave himself a slight concussion. That is true. We've been over that. There was the controversy of Dondero wearing the X-ray specs in the studio, making everyone think he could see us naked. He is, again, a novelty comic, I will tell you. All right.
Yeah, it's going to take too long to forward through the proper channels. They'll just play it from here.
Connects the shot. It's regenerative medicine. They take your own body's healing agents, put them right back into your body. So book your appointment today. QC Kinetics, 617-644.
It's not so much as a spit take as it is vomit. I like how Hardy has that available on his phone.
I know, it took him like 3 minutes to find
Not even. He just had that like on his phone.
Oh, my God.
I didn't even know the reference. And then Hardy's just got it right there.
Wait a minute. Everyone, wait a second.
Wait a minute. I'll just have to consult my notes.
Pardon me while I hit one button.
Give me 30 seconds.
Today, QC Kinetics, 617-644.
Let the record show that never happened to me.
That's true. There were a couple of times where you were close. And I remember looking at you and going, oh, boy. But you managed to hold it in.
Yeah.
There was a time where you were talking and you almost bent over and did it all over there.
That was that time. I do recall that, though. And you have to. I was sick. That was sickness.
You were.
Now, was there a hangover BCN throw up? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that was when Winger were in studio. And I had to adjourn myself to the bathroom. And it was one of those, as soon as I saw the toilet, I lost it. And it got all over the place. And I didn't know what to do. I mean, I didn't have a mop. So I felt very bad about that. But we'll see how all this Dondero stuff shakes out. Excuse me.
Whoa.
That wasn't even a burp. That was
Whoa.
just my innards. I'll tell you this, is that Felger is kind of Dondero's Felger's attaché almost, and you would have to think that Felger has to address it or he's ducking.
Protege, yeah.
It's protege.
Yeah.
A mentor-mentee relationship. You would have to feel that Felger has to at least address it. Him being a germaphobe, too.
Yeah.
On many levels.
Felger, the king of comedy, is going to weigh in on this?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that he gets it. It probably went over his head, the spit take. I mean, as it often cerebral comedy does. I'm not saying he got the joke, but I'm sure that he'll think it's gross and that he has to address, or else he's ducking it.
He'll immediately, deflect and start talking about the gross stuff that Zoe does. And again, now you're missing the point entirely. Once again, it's not It's not the grossness. If you want to keep it all within the realm of comedy, leaving actual feces on a chair, that's next level stuff. That's Peter Sellers. I mean, you're not
Right.
You're not down in the depths of Adam Sandler Grown-Ups and Gallagher. Now you're elevating the media.
Yeah, Oscar Wilde. I mean, that's where it all came from. I think Felger might even just spend the whole day talking about the game.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I mean, there's nothing to talk about. He's going to spend the whole day talking about the biggest win of the season. Doesn't he know Dondero did a spit take? He should focus way more of the show like we did on it. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Essential.
Not just for yourself, but for the ones you love and love you. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Mays under center, offset off.
Drake May.
Throws down the middle. Drake rolls well, breaking traffic. Off balance, throw it to the end zone. Caught by Jones. Pass is going to be caught.
Drake May plays on one station in Boston.
Here's another Drake May moment.
Drake May.
98.5, the Sports Hub. Toucher and Hardy.
Such an fantastic explosion.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
See, the guy fell in love with the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
And we were able to escape.
Fred, you went to the movies this weekend?
I went to the movies twice this weekend with my daughter. I went on Friday and saw the romantic film about the couple whose their spouses die, and it turns out they were having an affair. I saw that. And then on Sunday, we went to see Predator, and we lasted 10 minutes.
I can't believe that. Now, are you've never...
I've never seen the original Predator.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, that's
you don't understand the universe or
No.
what's going on with any of that stuff.
No, they weren't. They were using subtitles for a fake language. That didn't go over
Oh.
well with my daughter or I. We just really wanted the food at that point.
Yeah.
And once we were done with the food, it was kind of over.
Well, maybe you hold off until the spring when a Michael Jackson biopic will come out. And apparently the first footage has been released. Jafar Jackson, who is a nephew of Michael Jackson, has the lead role. And the first teaser for this Lionsgate film, Michael, came out on Thursday. So it is set to be released in April of 2026. The release has been delayed several times. It was supposed to be out in the fall of this year. This is the first feature role, the feature debut for Jafar Jackson. And according to the information from the studio, the film tells the story of Michael Jackson's life beyond the music. Okay,
All right.
interesting. Tracing his journey from the discovery of his extraordinary talent as the lead of the Jackson 5 to the visionary artist whose creative ambition fueled a relentless pursuit to become the biggest entertainer in the world. Okay. Highlighting both his life off stage and some of the most iconic performances from his early solo career. Sounds like some things are being left out.
Well, it sounds like it ends with
a
Thriller.
little. Yeah.
But I have always been curious about Michael Jackson because I've never found the source material to kind of figure out what was going on with him. If he's like never photographed or videotaped, the story's never been told. So I'm looking forward to this. He was. I want to know what happened before he became a star at 6.
Yeah, exactly. Nia Long plays his mother. Miles Teller is in the cast.
As what?
I don't. LaToya. I don't know.
Okay.
As Maverick now, he's moved up a role.
Lionsgate is distributing the movie domestically, and the first trailer should be out later this week. So you will see the trailer in theaters for Michael, the official story.
Okay.
Can't imagine. Did you watch either one of the documentaries
On what?
on Michael Jackson?
No. No, I lived when he was alive. That was enough. He was covered all the time. There was never a moment about anything. I mean, I've seen people talk about what happened at Neverland.
Yes,
I've seen
that's essentially what those documentaries.
Yeah, I mean, it's
about.
well tread ground. My opinion's pretty well set on what kind of guy Michael Jackson was, and short of them discovering a way to exhume his brain and tell us why, I don't really know.
Rob Gronkowski says he is rooting. He was rooting for the Patriots yesterday.
He can't. Then how can he be on national television?
And that he will retire as a Patriot. No one saw that one coming. Apparently, there was some discussion with somebody as to what team he was going to retire
Really? Okay.
as. Yeah, well, I mean, he
right.
joined Tom Brady down.
But it's
there.
this
They won
week.
themselves a
He's
Super Bowl.
retiring someday this week. 1-day contract.
There was someone who asked via email if someone could try and spoil this. If Gronk signs a 1-day contract, Does he go on the 53-man roster, pushing someone to the practice team, making them eligible to be picked up by another team?
The best part was he said, "Pardon me for channeling my inner Hardy here, but I have a question to ask."
I don't think that happens.
I don't think so either.
I hope they don't make a big show of it before the Thursday night game because there's going to be enough on the field to take in.
That's right.
It doesn't have to overshadow a battle between two Titans when Thursday night kicks off.
Finally, we do have some Pablo Torre news probably to get to later in the week, but first of all, there's more shenanigans going on with baseball and some of the pitchers, but Phil Mickelson also.
Oh, yes.
And Pablo does a bit of a dive into Phil Mickelson's past investments and some of the things that he's saying now to his investor buddies, some of the finance pros. So that'll be fun. We'll get to that later in the week.
Yeah, Phil Mickelson, a bit of a gambling problem, I've heard. I don't want to get sued, but I've heard he has a bit of an issue. Scott Zolak is here. Hi, Scott.
I heard you guys on the way in. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Hardy.
What?
Finding that audio for the QC Kinetics.
Oh, yeah, it was no problem.
They'll love it.
Just a couple of taps.
I had it ready to go.
That was not in studio, just so you know.
That was in your home.
I didn't do anything. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know what they were talking about.
We had an hour and a half delay on the way back. Awful.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So you guys got delayed too, but I thought, didn't you fly to a private airfield or something, or are you going to Providence?
Well, we go right into Providence, yeah, but we couldn't get out of Tampa. We sat on a tarmac. I fell asleep after the game, and I'm like, oh my God, we landed in Providence. No, we haven't taken off yet.
Oh.
Hour and a half.
What time did you get in last night?
About 11:30.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Well, you did a great job yesterday,
Thanks, pal.
Scott. No, you did. You did
back.
a wonderful job.
We're back, man.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of things. A lot
of fun.
Sleep is for losers.
It is. It really is.
That's right. All right, so Scott was calling the game, and now he's in for the next 4 hours to talk about it. That'll do it.